Family, we're still dealing with the aftermath of Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was shot fatally yesterday, and a lot of people are having responses to it. And we definitely need to be very careful with the response because everybody's eyes are on black people.
The price of freedom is death. We're coming to get our check.
Welcome, family. Welcome to the Afro League YouTube channel. We have much to discuss this evening. I appreciate every single last one of you all for being here with us. I want to say we started off a little bit later. Today, there were some things I had to do. I definitely had to reset my laptop. There's some lagging we've been going through. I appreciate y'all patience with me. Y'all know it's a pet peeve of mine. It doesn't bother you guys as much, but we need to talk about some serious things. And we will also later on tonight be opening up the phone lines. Okay, we will be doing that later on tonight. So as we know, we're not breaking any news as far as Charlie Kirk and as far as what happened to him at the university, at the college university in Utah. We're not breaking any news, but we're having to deal with a lot of the backlash. A lot of people are sad. A lot of people are crying. A lot of people have a lot of mixed emotions about it. So we're going to have to discuss that. Now, before we play the copyright disclaimer to establish to YouTube that every single thing we play thus forth is protected under the guise of fair use. What I would appreciate for every single last one of you guys to do, especially considering the fact that we started off a couple hours late, you know, given the circumstance, what we need to make sure that we do is we need to make sure that we hit that like button. Let's hit that like button, y'all. I will be right back. I'm playing the copyright disclaimer, and just to establish to YouTube that everything we play is under the copyright law. All right. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, so the first thing I really want to start off with, of course, Donald Trump's response to the situation. Donald Trump came out with a statement about the situation. This was Donald Trump's response, all right? Let's get
Hello, Americans. I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there has never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible.
Okay, we don't really even need to play the whole thing of that. That was Donald Trump's response. He lowered the flag. He has the flags lowered until Sunday. So his thing is to pretty much martyr Charlie Kirk. He does not, of course he condemns it, but he did not say, let's not reach, let's not go to violence, let's not do that. Very important that he's saying that. A lot of people thought that was like an AI generated video, just the way he was kind of moving and all of that stuff. But that's the official page on Twitter. That's the official page for the White House. So they officially launched it, whether it's AI generated, whether it was edited for whatever reason or whatever the case may be. It came from the official page. All right. I'm not going to give you nothing made up. Okay. So we got a lot of people saying that. A lot of people are mourning. You have a lot of people crying and all of that stuff about it. Of course, you're gonna have the damn white folk. They're sitting up there. They're gonna be crying. It's a bunch of people doing that. It's a bunch of tears. Hold on. It's a bunch of tears about it. Look at this.
Charlie Kirk's dead, and I ain't crying because Charlie Kirk's dead. I'm crying because now them two babies gotta grow up without a daddy because you couldn't fucking stop hating somebody long enough just to listen. That woman's gonna have to be a widow now, and she don't get to have a daddy help take care of them babies because you fucking hated somebody's goddamn political opinion. Imagine the hell them kids are gonna go through their whole fucking lives now. The parents that are gonna tell their kids how bad of a person Charlie Kirk was and that he deserved what he got, and his kids are gonna have to hear that their whole fucking lives because you wanted to hate somebody so much there was nothing else you could do but fucking take their life and take them off this earth. See, I got a problem, but I feel people's fucking emotions. And as soon as I saw the fucking video that said he was gone, the first thing I think of is his wife and his kids. And she's fucking probably losing her absolute mind right now, wondering how she's gonna tell them babies that daddy's not fucking coming home today. I'm not sure who's all going to celebrate this because people didn't like Charlie Kirk. But them babies, they got a daddy now, so that's what you're fucking celebrating when you celebrate. You're celebrating them having to come home from school in the future, not fucking tell daddy how school went. Not get daddy to help with their fucking homework. Because the hate in this fucking world got so bad that somebody had to kill him. But you'll be celebrating when you celebrate the death of Charlie Kirk. Just letting you know that. And if you are one of them people, I think you should absolutely burn in fucking hell for eternity.
I just think that, given the situation right here, I do think that it is time for us to have a moment of peace and a moment of silence. I just don't think that violence is always the way to go about anything. I just feel as if somebody have a different political opinion that, you can disagree to disagree. I don't like Charlie. I know a lot of people ain't really like Charlie like that, and that's fine. I feel it too. It made me want to cry. I've been crying all day, and I just think his kid was right there, and his wife was right there, and now she don't got a husband, she don't got no father no more. And y'all so mean, and y'all on Twitter online making jokes. Y'all, Jesus don't like this. I just, come on, hold on, give me a minute. God damn, where's my beer? Shit, okay. Okay, I just needed to let that go. I just need to let that out. I can't believe it. Okay, I know it's hard to bear, y'all, but I just want to let me play another video just to show you how sad it is. Okay, come on, let's not do that. Why y'all laughing? It's not funny.
Such bullshit! I've never been so pissed in my whole life. And this murder Charlie Kirk right here in Utah. I'm so freaking pissed right now. This is bullshit. I just saw blood squirting out of his neck. I love that guy. He would have been our next president. I am so pissed right now. Why do they always come with fucking violence? Gosh damn it. Use your freaking words as they're talking to you people. Who shot Charlie Kirk? I'm driving down a Provo right now. I'm so pissed. Damn it.
Now, when you see white men crying, there's got to be some damn ass kissing, massa lovers. And a lot of them are tethers. We got to call a spade a spade. A lot of them are tethers sitting up there crying over the situation too. There's got to be that.
The news that Charlie Kirk passed away, and I don't care what your political party is, I don't care what you believe in, that was a man of God, and y'all took his life. I didn't even get a chance to to pray or anything. I didn't even know until 5 minutes ago, and he already passed away. But it hurts my heart deeply. Like, it grieves me that that's how evil this world is. Like, that is a father, that is a son of God, that's somebody's husband. Like, this world is so evil, and I hate it. Like, I honestly don't have any words right now. I'm so
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all.
angry. I'm so angry. And while I can't change anything, I can't change the outcome because he's already in heaven. But what I can do is start a prayer chain for him and his family. God, we ask that you cover his kids. We ask that you cover his wife. We ask that you cover his people, God, that you would place a peace that surpasses understanding over their minds, that you would be near to their broken hearts, that you would save their crushed spirits in these moments, God, that you would place a hedge of protection over his family, over his children's minds, God, so that they wouldn't grow up and allow this to be something that breaks them, but something that builds them to become all that he was and even more, God, to become more outgoing for your kingdom, to work harder, and to be all that you called them to be times a million, God. I thank you that this is not the end of who he was and his story and what he stood for, but that this is only the beginning of what the ministry that has been placed on his life is going to do, God. So I thank you for the way that you're covering his family. I thank you for the way that you're comforting them, the way that you're holding them, the way that you're leading them and guiding them through this, God. I ask that his family be comforted and be led in this moment. I thank you, God, for who you are. I thank you that even when we don't understand things, even when things happen outside of how we wish that they would, God, that you are sovereign and that you are still good and that you are still in control. So, God, hold their family. Holy Spirit, wrap your comfort around them right now. In Jesus' name, amen.
Now, mind you, these people will literally not. If it was a black person, same situation. The college campus, black, the shooter, black, Charlie, black. If it was all of that, it would have been we do got to talk about the fatherlessness, and it wouldn't be no tears. It would not be none of that. Just know that all of the I can't believe it happened to Charlie Kirk. All of that stuff, it would be none of that if this was a black man. Okay, as a matter of fact, if it was a black man, they'd be making fun of it like they always do. All right, it would absolutely be none of that. So the people who sit up there crying and weeping and crying and I gotta call a spade a spade. A solid majority of them are from what I've seen. I've only seen a couple that aren't, quite literally, quite frankly. Okay, are tethers. Okay, they're tethers. 100,000%. Let me show y'all this. I mean, it gets sad. It gets sad. It gets sad real quick. Hold on. Man, if you don't, why is this thing acting like that? Okay, hold on. Okay, there we go. This thing is acting real funny. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, this thing kind of just acted up. There we go. There we go. Y'all look at this. Y'all can hear the accent too.
My God. My God, Charlie. Charlie. Oh my God. Oh no, my God. Oh my God. Charlie doesn't deserve this. What is going on? What is going on? 31-year-old, beautiful wife, 2 children, nice God. This is evil. This is not acceptable. This is evil. Why? So we have become so divided in this country that people don't have political opinion. People have taken it upon themselves to kill anyone that speaks truth.
Doesn't Charlie have the right to speak the truth, irrespective of the fact whether you agree on what he said or know what he believes? What kind of world is this? This is not America. This is not the kind of America we dream for our children. Charlie is God, confirmed by President Trump. Oh my God, this is unfair. This is evil.
Oh boy. Okay, let me listen. I've seen so many Massa is we sick Negroes. Massa is we sick. Massa, what happened to Charlie? Massa, I love him, but I miss him. Massa, I'm so sorry. They cry more than white people damn near. Okay. And you always gonna have that. And something I don't like. Let's be honest. Okay. Let's be honest. Now we got some people who got some like political clout and stuff like that. You got the disappointing, very disappointing statements. I'm gonna show you this statement real quick, and this comes to, I'm sure, no surprise to anybody. Obama has made an official statement about the situation. This is what Obama had to say. Okay, gonna look at that. This is from this is not edited or anything like this. This comes from Barack Obama's Twitter page. He says, "We don't yet know what motivated the person who shot and killed Charlie Kirk, but this kind of despicable violence has no place in our democracy. Michelle and I will be praying for Charlie's family tonight, especially his wife, Erica, and their 2 young children." Obama, shut up. Stop, dude. Stop. I'm sure he is going to be praying. I'm sure Obama is going to be praying. He don't be praying for no black people. He didn't do nothing for black people. Okay. I'm sure he will be. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear Obama. Look, of course he's going to come out there because he's a damn Massa lover himself too. He's going to come out there and say something. I don't like it when people do that. I have a statement to say. Charlie. Now, me and Michelle, we didn't always agree with Charlie, but that doesn't mean that he should be shot in the neck like he was. He was shot in the neck. It looked painful, too. If he was alive to feel it, it looked like it hurt. So I just, damn. His wife, he has a wife, he has kids, he has 2 kids. I have 2 kids, so I understand that part, and I feel bad. Me and Michelle, we feel bad for him. He's dead now, so that's just that's not nice, and I don't think that America should be like that anymore. I feel like the violence in the country that we live in needs to stop. We need to come together on these topics and solutions. Okay. I don't want to hear that. I really don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Disappointed. To be honest, I'm a little bit more disappointed. You'd be surprised. I'm a little bit more disappointed, really, in Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s children, his son. Okay. Dr. Martin Luther King's son has come out with a statement, his full statement on the death of Charlie Kirk. We ain't about to read all this nonsense, okay? But we're going to get to the first part about it. We're going to get to a little bit about it. It says, there is a deep heaviness in our hearts for our nation today. The death of Charlie Kirk is not only a tragedy for one man or one moment. It is a wound to the soul of our nation. Wherever violence visits any of God's children, it diminishes us all. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Really? Now this is Dr. King's son. I want you guys, if y'all didn't know, let me remind you guys, let me show you guys how Charlie Kirk thought of Dr. King. Since Dr. King's son is talking about how Charlie Kirk's death is some horrific event and it's damaging to us all. This is Charlie Kirk on Dr. King.
I'm a reporter with Wired Magazine in New York. I'm reaching out because we're publishing a story about Charlie Kirk's comments on Martin Luther King Jr. and his plan to release content about King on January 15th. Mind you, they act like I'm planning a terrorist attack. Like the way this is written, his plans to create content on January 15th. Like what? I mean, like what am I like planning like a terrorist attack on Christmas Day? We note in our piece that Kirk describes King as, quote, a bad guy. It's true. And Kirk self-described very, very radical view that the country made a mistake when it passed the Civil Rights Act. Also true. As we note in the piece, Kirk has previously described Kirk as a hero and a civil rights icon. It's true. I used to be wrong. What?
Okay, this man is dissing your daddy, dude. Your daddy who actually died for civil rights, for something good and something righteous, okay? And you got your damn father's name, and you sitting up there talking about mourning the person and how the whole nation mourns the person who went around dissing your father.
What inspired Kirk to shift his view on MLK? Why does Kirk think that MLK is a bad guy? When Kirk says that MLK says, quote, one good thing he didn't believe, what does he mean by that? But how did we get here? And how much of our race-obsessed politics is because of the elevating of MLK? Why is it that the person that gets their own federal holiday is the person we've never actually criticized?
Man, I'm not trying to hear. Look, I would hate to have a son like Dr. Martin Luther King III. I would hate to have him as a son. If I got to sit up there and sacrifice my life, okay, putting in all of this work for him to sit up there and forgive somebody mocking me. His son, I'm going to be honest, his children are disappointments. They're absolute pathetic disappointments, in my opinion, humbly. And they fall so far from the tree that was Dr. King. They fall so far from that tree. It's almost insane. I damn near think they're adopted. Okay, but it's pathetic the way they're acting. That's pathetic. I'm gonna say something else. And this came, to be honest, I was very, very disappointed. A little surprised too when I saw this. Dr. Umar has come out with a statement. This is what Dr. Umar had to say about the situation. I got to move my logo out because he had a lot to say about the situation. Okay. Dr. Umar, he goes on to say, while I did not agree with Mr. Kirk's rhetoric and consider him to be an anti-black bigot, I will never rejoice at the loss of life of anyone who hasn't directly participated in the unaliving of a member of the Black African race. Okay, I am ashamed to see members of my community celebrating this situation. I will never ask you to mourn the loss of an enemy of our race, but to celebrate an unaliving is completely unacceptable. We know all too well that the greatness, we know all too well that lost my train of thought. We know all too well that the greatest recipients of political assassinations in this country have been our own people. My bad. I kind of broke this up because he had a long statement, so I broke it up and it's like cutting off half sentence because he went on. Okay, it says, stop laughing at the misfortunes of others. Get prepared and get prepared. Political assassinations have turned to the United States of America's countries of the deepest state, courties of the deepest state. Okay, all right, Dr. Umar Johnson. Wow. Now, it's very interesting. Very interesting that Dr. Umar said that. Okay. You gone soft, dude? Because I strictly remember Dr. Umar saying that some black dudes, some black men need to be killed. That you can't save everybody. I remember him getting on there and saying some people on the corner need to be put to sleep for good. Do you guys not remember? It's a big meme talking about now black men need to be put to sleep for good because we just too too damaged to be fixed. Some black men are too damaged to be fixed, and we're just gonna have to accept that that's the best way to save everybody. Now Charlie Kirk gets there, and it's one thing to say I'm not gonna mourn it, but you're gonna condemn us. Look, man, I'm not celebrating. I'm not celebrating at all. As you guys saw yesterday, I wasn't celebrating. I don't know why my laptop was just applauding. That's my laptop. It's not me. I didn't do that. But I'm not going to condemn nobody for celebrating. What do you, oh, you going to condemn somebody for celebrating Charlie Kirk? It's one thing if this was just a politician who y'all disagreed with, who disagreed or something like that. It would be one thing, but this is Charlie Kirk. Now you walk around talking about Pan-Africanism and all of this stuff. This is Charlie Kirk, by the way.
Right, the author of the 1619 Project. She heretically says that America was founded on slavery, right? And so part
I'd be okay with that.
But it's just not true.
It depends on what you mean by founded on.
She defines this. She says the founding fathers were in favor of it. Not true. George Washington wasn't. John Adams wasn't. John Quincy Adams wasn't.
The founding fathers. Now, this is history revisionist. Charlie Kirk knows better than this. He is lying to promote white supremacy. Okay, this is the denial of slavery, because now that we're talking about slavery, the follow-up conversation of reparations is coupled with that. So Charlie Kirk wants to deny and diminish slavery. Any and every single time you hear somebody try to diminish slavery, try to belittle slavery, try to make it seem like slavery was really a one-off situation that a couple of people had to deal with in the whole politics and the creation of America, that's them trying to deny it, which is really them trying to defend it as well too, and they're trying to prevent reparations. This is the Charlie Kirk that people are weeping over, okay? This is that Charlie Kirk. To say that George Washington and all of the other founding fathers who owned slaves weren't for slaves. So they, according to Charlie Kirk, they owned slaves, many of them, but they didn't want to. They spoke again, but you gotta understand they had to own slaves. George Washington, who put slaves' teeth in his rotting mouth, didn't want to do that. He was made to do that. Let Charlie Kirk tell it.
Thomas Jefferson even signed a moratorium of new slaves coming into the United States. Ben Franklin chaired an anti-slavery convention in 1775. None of these guys were writing expositionally how wonderful slavery was. And Nicole Hannah-Jones.
All of these people said that they were unapologetic white supremacists. These people were unapologetic white supremacists. Okay, Dr. Umar, this is who you're talking about. This is who you're saying that we should, you're condemning us for mourning over, Dr. Umar. This is who you're condemning us for mourning over. I just gotta remind you, let's bring up some of the stuff. Come on, Dr. Umar. This is him, the same man.
1940s. It was bad, it was evil, but what happened? Something changed. They committed less crimes.
Maybe they were afraid. I mean, 4,000 Black men, women, and children were killed in violent lynch mobs.
That's your explanation, but I guess
racial terror permeated American culture for hundreds of years.
Black America is worse than it has been
that affected
in the last 80 years.
The generational psyche of an entire group of people?
No, I'm sure it did. I'm not discounting that. I'm just.
Okay, not discounting that. All right. Okay. This is the Charlie Kirk that black people should be condemned for weeping over. This Charlie Kirk right here. This one.
I think this United story and the DEI story hits so hard because we've all been in the back of a plane when the turbulence hits, or when you're flying through a storm and you're like, I'm so glad I saw the guy with the right stuff and the square jaw get into the cockpit before we took off, and I feel better now.
No, I mean, like, you want to go thought crime? Like, I'm sorry. If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Well, that's the you wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have done that before.
That's not an immediate.
No, you wouldn't have done that before.
That's not who I am. That's not what I believe.
It is the reality the left has created.
Okay. All right. That's Charlie Kirk. This is also Charlie Kirk.
For people that are
so I, white man, have to play for black people. Why?
Wow, that's a really selfish thing you just said.
Hold on. Why should I have?
That's a really non-empathetic thing to say.
Why should I have empathy for a race?
I'm not saying for you.
Why?
Keep the word empathy in mind. Just keep that in mind. the word empathy. Okay, just keep that in mind.
Why should the white students here have to work harder to pay for black kids? What is that all about? That's not racist, that's noticing. How is it the white man's fault that black men started to abandon the women?
It's a bigger problem.
No, blacks need to take responsibility for the women that they impregnate, not blame the white man for racism.
Things affect this.
Why didn't it affect the Asians? Why did the Asians do so well? America got less racist and the blacks got poorer because we started to subsidize single motherhood and pandering to blacks, saying you do not need to stay around with the women you impregnate.
So you feel like us as a society has pandered?
Of course. We pandered to blacks. They're in every TV commercial. They get more privileges to come into society. They come into every college on preferential with lower test scores. You can't ever say anything negative. You can lose your job. You have your entire life obliterated if you say something racist. And yet we have to hear about how racist we are. How about you take responsibility for your own actions instead of blaming the white man?
I have to say, sir.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? You shouldn't blame the white man who shot you in the neck either. How about that? How about that? Now, I'm just saying this for all of the people who saying that. I mean, we don't have to celebrate the dead now. That's still not right. You know, we should have at least some level of empathy. Okay, well, I just want to remind you all what Charlie Kirk thought about empathy.
To do what Bill Clinton used to do, where he would say, I feel your pain. Instead, it is to say you're actually not in pain. So let's just very short clip. Bill Clinton in the 1990s, it was all about empathy and sympathy. I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, but
okay, he can't stand the word empathy. He thinks that empathy is some New Age made-up term that does a lot of damage. Okay, fine. He doesn't like empathy. Okay. Okay, don't like empathy. So all of the people weeping, and I don't think that he needed to. He wanted that. Hey, he said that it's okay. He said, hey, he don't believe in empathy. So why should we believe in empathy if he didn't believe in empathy? He's never believed in that. All right. Now you got a whole bunch of people. Now remember, there was a rumor yesterday that Ben Shapiro and all of them, they were gonna he had canceled some of his events and he was scared. Ben Shapiro has come out with a statement about the situation regarding Charlie. So we're gonna play that. We're gonna play that for you. Get some of this stuff off the screen. Okay, this is what Ben Shapiro. Now, remember, it was an article going around that Ben Shapiro had canceled some of his events. I think he did, but I think the backlash makes his brand look bad because if you guys don't know, Ben Shapiro is coming out with a book. So I think that him trying to release this book and then him being too scared to go to college campuses, that's kind of bad for his book release that he's trying to release. All right. So I think he's all like, I'm just going to beef up security because I don't want my book sales to fall off. But I think initially that was his knee-jerk reaction. It's my
still up to us. I saw a lot of rumors online today. I was made aware of this by my team that I canceled some sort of college tour. That's bullshit. I saw those rumors. They are false. I will be coming to college campuses, many of them this year. So will we all, I am sure, because we're Americans. And we're not going to be deterred. Charlie's voice is not silent. We're going to pick up that bloodstained microphone where Charlie left it. And to those who would intimidate, who would seek to stop us, who would seek to end free discussion, who believe that they have ownership over public spaces and can violently threaten and kill people who speak freely, we are not going to stop, and I have two words. Fuck you. We will not stop telling the truth. We will never stop.
Ben, that is, Ben Shapiro is so unintimidating. He said, F you. Like, he just, you might as well. I don't know if you thought you was being tough. I don't know if you thought that was hard. I don't know if you was, Now, I'm sure after that, he went high-fiving all his cameramen, being like, yeah, you said it. I said the F word. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they're scared. Okay, all right, dude.
Telling the truth. We will never stop debating.
Ben Shapiro, it just the way he talks and his manner, it looks like if the wind blew too hard, he would fly away. That's what it looks like.
Debating and discussing. We will never stop standing up for what America is and for what she should be. And we will never let Charlie Kirk's voice die. Goodbye to my friend, Charlie Kirk. May your memory be a blessing for your family and for your country and for all of us.
And for everybody. All right, let's just some sad stuff. Let's just sad. All right. You got a lot of people out here doing that stuff, but I'm not even gonna, because I do want to still get to the phone lines. I know we started off a little bit later than I anticipated, so it's okay. But I still want to talk to y'all. Still want to talk to y'all, and I need you guys to make sure that you guys hit that like button, because we're starting off late, and you know the algorithm don't like that. All right. But a lot of people are trying to martyr this man. A lot of people are trying to make it seem like this man's death is like similar to MLK and all. Listen to this.
Of Charlie Kirk is the most momentous event since MLK Kennedy getting shot. I really believe that. There is not an event.
I want you to keep this in mind, that this was one of the same dudes who was on that Jubilee debate. Just keep that in mind.
That has touched more people. Everybody that's writing me how they're crying, and I've been wrecked all day, right? I don't even know him. I've never met him. I followed him, of course. I look up to him in what he's done. I have preacher friends of mine writing me, talking about, and they are not even political, saying they're just devastated, they're hurt. I have people that are not very political at all reaching out to me, going viral for, and then people are saying, oh my God, I've been crying all day. This hit different, right? This hit different because he was one of us. This is a grassroots guy. This is a guy that started out, right, going to events, right? He was like every one of us who's got our feet wet in politics, and he was a nobody at one time, right? And he built a mega empire in a political juggernaut called Turning Point, and that changed American politics, right? There's a reason Trump is in office, that won a young voters by the masses. This is the most devastating day since MLK died and and Kennedy died. This will forever send a shockwave and a change and a brokenness to American politics. But we must get back up, conservatives, and we must live to fight another day.
Okay, we got to get up, conservatives, and we must live to fight another day. This is what they saying. So everybody out here crying and weeping and stuff. And let me show y'all some more. We got to go through some more. Okay. We literally got to go through some more. And normally I would pass this because but he does make political content. So we do got to address this. We got to address this, guys. Okay. And when I tell you the tethers was out here deep, I mean the tethers was out here deep. Y'all listen to this.
White, black, Hispanic, and beyond. I'm in a studio here in Las Vegas, and I'm looking outside, and I see people looking at me and smiling and saying, what's up, Stephen? They don't look anything like me. And I don't care, because they're showing me love, and I'm showing love right back to them. At some point in time, we got to recognize, can't just speak about it. Can't just give lip service to when such a vile act takes place. And we're going to give lip service to the tragedy of the moment. And then within 24 hours, we move on with our lives like nothing happened. Something did happen. Don't care what his political beliefs were. I don't care what he felt. I care about the fact that a man was gunned down in front of two of his children who are 5 years of age or less. That he's dead at the age of 31. That his wife is a widow. That his children are fatherless. Because his ideas and his beliefs differed from somebody else, apparently. And then I'm going online and I'm seeing people celebrating it. Shame. Shame on you.
Okay. Oh, yeah. When I tell you about the massive levels, the tethers, it run deep. Oh, it run deep. It runs so deep with them. Lord have mercy. They sitting up there weeping and crying for somebody who be dancing on y'all grave. He be dancing on y'all grave. If it happened to Stephen A., he'd be dancing on Stephen A.'s grave right now. But you sitting up there getting mad at people who are just not concerned, who are just saying, hey, it is what it is. Okay? It happened. It is what it is on the situation. That's what people are saying. All right? Look, like I said, the tethers, they tethering for real. Okay? Now, getting to this, we'll say something. People are not celebrating, but people are calling out the irony of certain things. Tariq Nasheed, our brother, he posted this meme, okay, of Charlie Kirk and George Floyd, and he says, rest in peace. Rest in peace, okay? Boy, this made them so damn mad, you won't believe it. This pissed them off. I'm talking about it pissed them off. They're like, how dare you? How you already know they was crying before. Oh, he George Floyd, it was mental, and Charlie Kirk was a bully, it was real. Okay. Myron Gaines had something to say about the situation. Let me pull this up. Come on now. This is what Myron Gaines said. He was pissed. Myron was pissed.
Okay? And it's funny because I see people like, Tariq Nasheed, like they're celebrating his death thinking it's, and it's funny because I see people like, Tariq Nasheed, like they're celebrating his death thinking it's funny and shit like that. I mean, look, let's just call a spade a spade. He's a stupid nigger that's married to a Jew. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. Like, this is some fucking niggerism behavior, right? And this is why a lot of people don't like the black community. This is why they get made fun of. This is why they get roasted.
This is why a lot of people don't like the black community. So our lack of empathy is the reason why a lot of people don't like the black community. But y'all still to this very day make memes about George Floyd. Oh, so Tariq can't make a meme about George Floyd? Y'all still to this very day, it's been 5 years ago. Y'all still be all like, George Floyd is sober. He can't breathe. Y'all have never stopped making jokes and stopped making memes and stopped making fun of George Floyd. Y'all and George Floyd and other black people, but George Floyd in particular. But the second there's a meme about Charlie Kirk, oh, this is why the black community has no sympathy. Y'all have no heart. Y'all have no soul. Y'all all going to hell. Okay. All right. Oh, so it's a double standard right there, huh?
Posted. This is why FBAs are fucking retards, frequently bitching about everything or anything. That's literally what FBA stands for. And he's still running around trying to say, oh, I beat these niggas in a debate. Last time I checked, because he tried to say white.
Myron is still triggered about that debate. Myron is pissed off about that debate. Okay. Why are you even bringing up that debate? He's still running around talking. Myron, every single time you just see Myron spaz out about the damn debate. That debate was like a year ago, at least. I think maybe a year or two ago, if I'm not mistaken. I know it was last year. I know it wasn't this year. I mean, okay.
White supremacy is the same as Jewish supremacy. And I was like, no, bro, the two are not the same whatsoever. There's a reason why your bitch ass will never talk about Jews and you always complain about white people. But the reality is the people that really have the power in America are fucking Jews. They just cosplay as white. He's like, oh, well, they're the same. I'm like, okay, cool. If they're the same, go ahead and start talking about Jews on YouTube tomorrow. Oh, I ain't gonna crash out. Exactly. Shut the fuck up. And I find it amazing that he still to this day thinks he won the debate when in reality, we proved his entire theory wrong. The dude's entire brand is race baiting, victim mindset, blame the white guy for everything.
Now, all of this, you're mad. He's showing anger towards Tariq. He's showing anger towards the black community. And he's saying, well, no, you shouldn't. It's not the white man, it's the Jews. It's not the white man, it's the Jews. There's been a photo that's been released of the actual shooter. A white man. Now, Myron Gaines sitting up there talking about this is why people don't like the black community as you're speaking on the subject about a meme that was made because a white man did a crime to another white man. This is white on white violence. This is white on white crime. Yet Charlie Kirk is not saying anything about the white shooter. He will voice, because he's a master lover, you know that. He will show more anger towards foundational Black Americans than he will to his master, who shot and killed his other master, because he's still loyal to the white man. That's Charlie Kirk, okay? That's Charlie. I mean, that's what I say, Myron Gaines. That's Myron Gaines, all right? But speaking of that, there are some updates. So the FBI came out with some updates regarding the situation. So we're going to play that.
My name is Robert Bowles, and I am the special agent in charge of the Salt Lake field office. Following yesterday's tragic shooting of Charlie Kirk, FBI agents have been working around the clock in coordination with our law enforcement partners. We are and will continue to work nonstop until we find the person that has committed this heinous crime and find out why they did it. This morning I can tell you that we have recovered what we believe is the weapon that was used in yesterday's shooting. It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. So the FBI laboratory will be analyzing this weapon. Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis. Now, I understand there are a lot of questions about motive. I assure you that all leads, tips are being fully investigated. As of this morning, we have received more than 130 tips. We thank the community for that. The FBI has brought every resource to bear, and we will continue to do so throughout the course of this investigation.
Okay. We don't have to play the rest of that. So as of right now, they don't know. They have not caught him. At least they have not officially announced that they caught the dude. But this is the picture. They have some other issues or other, I guess, pictures. They have a video of him, moving around. Okay, because these pictures are screenshots of the video. Okay, the cameras don't take pictures, they take videos. So these are screenshots of the video. Even if there are some cameras, like old cameras, that take like a picture every so often. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so they have that. They're looking for the guy. There's been other images of the guy, but these are the main two that they're having out there. So this is white on white crime, like we said before, like we knew before. But don't let them know that. Now, all of this is remember, white on white crime. Yeah, literally nothing to do with us. Okay? Keep that in mind. But yet, this is what you see. You see white men galvanizing.
I don't even know what to say. And what you have to realize is the average person is fucking fed up. I was just at the gym. I've talked to this older white gentleman before. I overheard his conversation with his friend, and he said, we can't keep living like this. He said, did you just see the past few days is I don't even know what to say. And what you have to realize is the average person is fucking fed up. I was just at the gym. I've talked to this older white gentleman before. I overheard his conversation with his friend, and he said, we can't keep living like this. He said, did you just see Charlie Kirk got assassinated? Did you see yesterday the murder on the train in North Carolina? And this guy isn't political. He's just a guy, who does his job and kind of stays out the way. But the average white man is waking up. And what you guys have to realize is everyone.
Now, for all of y'all who are like, no, this ain't about race. Let's not say anything about race. They're the ones making this about race. And Charlie Kirk, mind you, a lot of people saying, well, the guy is Hispanic. The guy, he might be Hispanic. That's white. Hispanic is not a race. We're not going to do that. They're going to try to de-white the guy. Don't do that, because this is white on white crime. Let's not do that. The state was damn near an all-white state at an all-white campus. Okay? And the dude clearly blended in well. So let's be honest. The dude was white. Let's not play no games. All right? We're not going to play stupid. He wasn't black. We know that. Yet he's sitting up there talking about, well, white people, we can't live like this. We can't. Y'all the ones doing it to each other, but they're not framing it that way. Just keep this in mind.
in the fucking fight. The blacks, the Jews, the leftists.
He said we can't. Now listen to what he just says now.
Kind of stays out the way, but the average white man is waking up. And what?
So for all of y'all who are like, why y'all keep bringing up race? They're the ones who saying the average white man, not American. This isn't no time for us to come together and hold hands. For all of y'all loving Negroes who want to come together and hold hands, he's not talking about Americans coming together and holding any hands. He's saying this is where white men are waking up. Okay, now listen to what he says right next.
You guys have to realize is everyone's in the fucking fight.
Everyone's in the fight. Now listen to what he says right after this. Who's the first people he brought up?
The blacks, the Jews, the leftists, whoever it might be, everyone's in the fight except you.
The blacks, first thing he said, the blacks, Jews, leftists. Okay. Even though there's leftists who are white, Jews who are white, but the black people are the only people who couldn't be considered white of the people he named, but he named black people first. He named black people first. This is what the shooter looks like. This is who the shooter is. They haven't identified the man, but this is who the shooter looks like. And they're saying the blacks are in the fight to get white people. Just keep this in mind. How is this? Because he's making some type of White Lives Matter parade or protest, and it was against another white person. The crime was against another white person. Just keep that in mind.
Except the young white man, young conservative white man, is not in the fucking fight. And I thought the breaking point was yesterday. I didn't know there's gonna be, this is gonna just keep fucking happening. This is absolutely insane, absolutely sickening. And some of the people who are celebrating his death because he was a Zionist, because we disagreed with one point, you guys are fucking sick in the head. And you guys, I hope you guys get what's coming to you.
Okay, we have. Okay. Let me just time this person out. I'm seeing some trolls. Let me time y'all out. Look. Yeah, we got some trolls. I'm timing them out though. It's okay. Yeah. Notice that. Okay. The white man. We got to stick together and we got to come together, and the white man is not in the fight. Now, the person who did it, and they know that there was never a time when they thought the person who did it wasn't white. They've known that that's been a known thing from the beginning, from the people who got the video of the guy on the roof. That's a well-known thing. Nobody at all, at no point between the time he got shot to right now, ever thought that the shooter could have possibly even been black. Nobody thought that. All right, just keep that in mind. But yet they're mad at black people, and now this has become some type of rallying cry for white people. Just keep that in mind. Now this is some type of thing of white people saying that, oh yeah, we need to fight together and stand together. Look at this.
White man, fight back! 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 White man, fight back!
Okay, so for all of y'all who are like, well, this is a tragedy for everybody. This is an American tragedy. They don't see it that way. They don't see it that way. They see it as this is an attack on white, and white men are the ones being persecuted. White men are the ones being put upon, and white men need to fight back. The killer was a white man. That's the craziest thing. The killer was a white man. Now, they crying and all of that stuff, but there's already some fights that are breaking out over the situation. I guess there was a vigil allegedly, and some dude came and he tried to drive a motorcycle or a dirt bike or whatever over it, and they got him. The video's right here, because they love to use the 13% population but 50% of the crime statistic. What statistic is this? because this is not the first time I've seen angry mobs of white men. What is the statistic of this? Where's this in the FBI statistics? I want to know. Why are they not civil? Is this something wrong with their culture? Maybe it's their IQ being so low. All of this, and their issue and their anger is towards black people. Let me get to some of the super chats real fast. Okay, let me get to Yak Diesel. He says, "B1 y'all. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Rest in piss, Charlie Kirk." Let me correct myself. Rest in piss, Charlie Kirk. All right. Sage says, "FBA B1. Thank you very much." Say, the Sage. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Vicky. Our sister Nisi says, "Afro lose the hillbilly twang, baby." Oh, the hillbilly twang. Oh man, I thought it was all right. I thought it was okay. Well, I guess I gotta lose it. All right. Tom Slick says, "Now that's embarrassment. No heavy heart for me." Yeah, absolutely. No, we're not all that heavy heart. So now white people are woke, says Mia. Yeah, I suppose so. So now the attack on white men is also on people who don't believe in you, because they believe that in order to be a white man, you have to be conservative. Otherwise, you don't count, apparently, according to them, as a white man. Okay, because they believe they're doing what is best for white men. Okay, let me see. How do I pronounce your name? Coranda, I believe it's pronounced. It says, caught that all Obama impression needs improving, but I think it's spot on. I think you mean spot on. On a serious note, the fact that Obama and Democrats giving condolence to a Republican white supremacist exposes a lot. It does expose a lot. Okay, even though we have absolutely no verification as of right now that this was done by somebody on the opposite party or somebody with different beliefs. Now you got Megyn Kelly and all that stuff saying that they got the gun and it was some trans stuff. So of course they're doing that to rally the troops up. So yeah, they're doing that to rally the troops. All right. And they're doing that to rally the troops. And here's the thing I want every single black person to understand. The troops are going to be rallied against us as foundational black Americans. Let's look at this. This is something that came out recently where HBCUs are now being threatened. They receiving bomb threats and all of that because of the situation involving Charlie Kirk. Put this up. Okay. It says multiple HBCUs under lockdown after receiving terrorist threats. Now, I have to keep reminding everybody, this is what the killer looks like. It's all over the internet. The FBI has put this out. So this is not alleged. This is not rumor. This is not nothing. Okay. They allege he was the one on the roof. He ran into the forest. He ran into a neighborhood, all of that stuff. This is who they're looking for. And yet you have people threatening HBCUs to go shoot up or blow up HBCUs. Keep that in mind of where their anger is being pointed towards. All right. Don't forget that. Don't let that slide. Okay, so the HBCUs are under threat. We're going to look into this just a little bit. It says multiple historically black colleges and universities, or HBCUs, have gone under lockdown after threats were directed at the campuses. Okay, school officials announced Alabama State University, Hampton University, Virginia State University, Southern University, and AMG College. Okay, that's to name a few. And Berthane Cookman University locked down the morning of Thursday. That's today, Thursday, September 11th, each citing potential threats made against the campuses. The lockdown at Southern University was later lifted, but all campus activity and classes were canceled through the weekend. School officials announced on social media. So I want you guys to keep this in mind. The anger that white supremacists are having right now, they're grieving. And right now, a lot of people are saying things like, well, you know, it ain't got nothing to do with us. They will find a way to make this about us. They're trying to find a way to make this about us. Right now, they feel like they need to up the score for conservative white men. That's what they feel like they need to up the score with. Conservative white males. All right. So they're going to be lashing out. I want you to remember what Myron Gaines had to say. Myron Gaines, he's more mad at Tariq and foundational Black Americans. And you have coon niggas, let's be honest, who are saying, well, you know, we shouldn't, I condemn my community. So you got the Obamas and you got the Umar Johnsons condemning the Black community, even though this was a white on white crime. We are the ones being condemned. Now, I don't see white people condemning other white people who are making jokes. Most of the jokes, especially the ones that are super serious, the people making memes and videos and all of this stuff against Charlie Kirk are white people, but white people are not condemning the jokes of other white people. But you got Black people who are sitting up there bucking their eyes, you know, like, man, I don't think that was a funny joke. They're condemning Black people, all right? And all of this factors in is all of these are ingredients that factor in to what we have now. Now we have people who are pointing at Black people to get their lick back, to quote unquote up the score. Okay, they want to up the score on us. Had a caller yesterday say he was from Utah, and he said he was in the house or lights off, windows closed, everything. I said good. And I don't want people to be afraid. I don't want people to sit up there and be cowardice. I don't want people to sit up there and be like shaking in their boots like, oh, they're going to get us because they got Charlie. No, don't do that. But as of right now, we really need to kind of sober up in a sense of being prepared, because what we're going to see is now we're probably going to see another potential. Keep in mind, this happened the same day there was a school shooting. Nobody's really talking about that situation. All right. Nobody's talking about that. There was another situation as well, too. I will want to show you guys another situation. There was another potential shooting. I believe it was stopped, of another white man. So this is what we're going to be seeing. Okay. Let's look at this. Shout out to Tariq. He's the one who posted this. What the hell happened? Okay, this is what it is. Look, take a look at this. Okay. I would like to read the article, but the article got too many damn ads, so I'm just not going to even bother doing that. Okay. It says, there is currently an active shooter situation in Annapolis, U.S. Naval Academy. Okay, this is three high profile shooting scenarios in the last 24 hours around the nation. Okay, very true. All involving white male shooters. All right, and let's call it what we need to call it. Can we borrow some of the National Guards to combat this? Let's be honest. These white men are losing their minds. So you're going to see a lot more of this, okay? School is started back. You're probably going to see more of that. It's unfortunate. So we need to be very prepared when it comes to this stuff. Not to be scared, but to understand that the backlash, even though it's the white liberals making jokes and laughing, they're going to skip past them. They're mad, but they're going to skip past them and target the Black people. Just to keep that in mind. Even though, and I keep having to remind everybody, keep having to say it was a white man who did it, but it's not going to be a white man who they want to get their lick back on. So this is a dangerous situation. It's a situation that we can survive. We will survive because we survive everything. Okay. We're the number one survivors, the number one hustlers, the people who know the most and can do the best. All right. We know how to operate this system of white supremacy. But the thing is that we've been through this beast. We've battled this beast long enough to know exactly how it operates. We know how this beast operates. We know what happens. Okay. The backlash, when they feel like they're weak because of white fragility, they look out for a Black person to victimize because that's how they feel powerful. Right now, these white men are not feeling powerful right now. So they're going to try to victimize a Black person. We just can't let that happen. Okay. They're going to start looking for, weak targets. That's what they're going to start looking for. Right now, it's in our best interest not to be weak targets. We cannot allow that to happen. All right. Now, I did say I was going to open up the phone lines. I know it's kind of late, but I'm still going to commit to what I said I was going to do. So I'm opening up the phone lines. Give me a couple seconds to make sure everything is set up the way it's supposed to be. Okay. Hold on. I got to put all the stuff in. Okay, set this up. Hold on. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Y'all, please make sure y'all hit that like button. I appreciate every single last one of you guys. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah, let me put the number up while I'm doing that. Okay. Here we go. Okay. This is the number. If you guys want to call in to talk about it, if you guys didn't call in yesterday, I will give you guys preferential treatment today. You guys get to have some preferential treatment today. If you guys didn't get a chance to talk about the situation yesterday, if you guys called in and, we weren't able to pick the call up yesterday, you guys can do that. Okay. Let me pick this through. Hold on. Let me see the situation. Okay. We already got callers on the line. Here we go. Okay. Stop. Miss Nisi, how you doing?
My right thumb is still cramped from last night.
I know. It was a lot. And I know. Oh,
I mean, it was crazy. I mean, it was an excellent live, but Jesus, them trolls. Ridiculous. But anyway, I ain't want nothing. Stay blessed, baby.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah. Oh man, last night was, if y'all missed it, y'all definitely got to go back and listen to the playback of that. That was crazy. All right. Caller from area code 30301. You're on live.
What's going on, Afro? This is Torian.
Torian, brother, what's on your mind? Talk to us, brother.
Listen, when you had showed that video, it reminded me of Charlottesville in 2017 when they were down there with them tiki torches talking about "you will not replace us," and we saw how that one ended. Like, so it's almost like history is repeating itself all over again, and it's crazy because after you showed that video, I had went on to Twitter, and a video popped up on my timeline, that same exact one. And then I kept scrolling through and everything like that. And, because the algorithm is so messed up, a video or a clip from Steven Crowder's show was on there, and he was on there with none other than Megyn Kelly, talking about this what was going on. And Steven Crowder, the way he was talking, like they are fighting the urge of wanting to do this whole Civil War thing without actually saying the word. And when I was looking at the video, the one that you had showed with them talking about, with the white men and everything like that, it's like you do realize that Charlie Kirk pretty much got taken out by a white guy, so you're going to fight amongst yourselves. And then they in the comments saying, no, we're fighting against the left. I'm like, if y'all don't stop this nonsense, they will do any and everything to not call it what it is. And then you showed the other video where they fought somebody and snatched them out of their car and jumped them and everything like that. I'm saying, I hope the world is watching, y'all. This is who they are. This is who they have been trying so hard to convince us or convince the world that this is who we are. But no, they're showing you this is them. This is who they are. And I said, you know what? Give it a couple more weeks. Hockey about to start back up. They ain't gonna talk about this no more. I'm just saying, like it's gonna be something else is gonna happen, and then they're gonna go on to the next thing. But like I said, they are fighting the urge of not calling it what it is. Even though they know what it is, we know what it is, but it's almost like they're fighting an internal battle with themselves of trying not to let slip out what we already see. I said this right here was probably one of the worst things that could have happened to them. I mean, literally, all I've seen on my timeline all day on Twitter is everything about Charlie Kirk. I mean, they have been crashing out all day since yesterday. And they still going at it.
Yeah, brother. This is the only 9/11 since 9/11 I can remember where nobody's even talking about 9/11. Nobody's even talking about the twin. I've seen more posts about Charlie Kirk than I've seen about the Twin Towers on 9/11. That's what everybody's talking about.
Yeah. And on top of that, like with yesterday, also people they haven't really talked about the shooting that happened in Colorado. I'm like, that did happen yesterday as well, but they haven't talked about that either. They completely stopped talking about what happened in North Carolina, even though that was the last thing that they talked about. And now everything is honed in on Charlie Kirk. Then you got Alex Jones out there saying, I'm going to continue what Charlie Kirk did, and I'm going to start going to talk to these campuses as well. Then you got Admiral Foodle up there talking. Now, that clip that you showed with him and what he said, that was my first time seeing it. And I said, I'm not surprised that he said that, but this is the same guy that has gone in a multiple all-white spaces, and they have called him everything but a child of God, and he doesn't have the same, not nearly the same amount of smoke for them as he does for us. Meanwhile, he was up on his platform crying like a baby yesterday, having to walk off. You know what it reminded me of? When he got demonetized on YouTube 2 years ago. Remember?
Yeah,
when he got demonetized, he started crying. He had to walk off. It looked just like that.
Yeah, it does. Yep. I remember that. Yeah. And it's crazy because, like you said, they're fighting the urge not to call this what it is. That's why they're trying to create some type of separation between white men. They're trying to make it seem like, well, white men are fighting back against the left, as if the left is some type of entity that's not racial, that there's no white men among the left. Like they're not. I'm like, no, these are white men. These are white men. So you're saying even if you're fighting against the quote unquote left, you're also fighting white men, but they don't want to frame it that way. You know, that's why they initially went to call this a political assassination instead of a white on white crime, which it is.
Exactly. And also one more thing before I go. I don't know if you know about it or not, or anybody in the chat knows it or not. Did you know that Trump is planning to give Charlie Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom?
Oh, no. I believe it. I believe it.
Because remember, he also said he was going to get, didn't he say he was going to give that Presidential Medal of Freedom to that former Doge employee who allegedly got jumped by those teenagers that caused him to bring in the National Guard last month?
Yeah, yeah. I believe that.
And then and then they also airlifted Charlie Kirk's body back to wherever on the Air Force Two. Now, for those who don't know, the Air Force Two is usually for like the vice president, members of the cabinet, and all types of stuff like that. But you airlifted Charlie Kirk back in the Air Force Two.
Mm-hmm.
And they want to sit up there and talk about us trying to make George Floyd a martyr. We didn't make George Floyd a martyr. Y'all was the ones that said that. We wasn't asking for statues to be erected of this man. Meanwhile, they all over Twitter talking about they want statues built of Charlie Kirk sitting on chairs at college campuses because that's what he was known to do. I'm like, if y'all don't go somewhere with this.
Yeah, for real. Now, we didn't make him a martyr. Trump lowered the flags. Now, mind you, Charlie Kirk is not a politician, nor has he ever been a politician. He's not like a federal judge, okay? He's none of that. At this point in time, he's a political commentator, okay? And they're sitting up there acting like this is a war hero who like jumped in front of a bullet for the president.
Mm-hmm. That's all, but that's pretty much all I had to say, for now. But,
I appreciate
thanks for letting me call in.
Oh, of course. Thanks for calling in, bro. Yeah, they acting like this man is a damn war hero. Thank you, Torian. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to Torian. All right. Ain't no damn war hero. We ain't even gonna do that. Caller from area code 214.
Hey, what's up, Afro? My name's Matt.
Hey, what's going on, Matt?
Hey, man, I just want to ask you a quick question. And first, I'll give you a little bit of a background. I know you probably got callers waiting on the line. I was raised in Port Arthur, Texas. My best friend was from Chicago, African-American. He passed away in Afghanistan 2013. In the war in Afghanistan and Iraq, which we won't get into that. He's from Chicago, born and raised. His mother is my son's godmother. I'm a white male, Caucasian. And I just have a question for you, brother. I watched your show all last night, and I was pretty upset. Not at you, but at more of, I guess, the comments that were made. And so my first question I want to ask you is, are you a believer of God? Are you a Christian or no?
I believe in God. I believe there's a God, yeah.
Okay. Can I ask you a question then? What was Charlie Kirk's main topic that he talked about when he went campus to campus that started his whole prolific profile of these debates on college?
Well, Charlie Kirk was known to talk about many different things on college campuses.
What was his original thing that made him famous?
The original thing, anti-black racism.
That's incorrect. It was
no, it is correct, because that's how Charlie Kirk started off. When you know how Charlie Kirk started Turning Point USA, it was turning about America being too liberal and too easy to know. Come on, don't lie, Matt. If you look at Charlie Kirk,
I'm not talking about Turning Point, Afro.
Don't overtalk the host, man.
Okay, I'll let you finish.
Okay, if you look at Charlie Kirk's earliest videos, the things that really put his name out there, it was not speaking about Christ, it was not speaking about religion, it was speaking about it was criticizing and black people. It was spewing anti-black white supremacist vitriol. You can go back years into that. That's what really started putting him on. His most viral clips are that. It's not talking about Christ or whatever. Yes, he weaponized the Bible, but he did that to attack black people.
Okay. See, the first thing that ever brought me on Charlie Kirk was when he was preaching the gospel. So I won't go tick for tack with you there. On Turning Point, how many employees are African American?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
He has 300 employees. Would it shock you to know that over 40% are African American, or would you say that's a random statistic?
It might be. It might be.
So the reason why I say this, man, because, and this is what really caught me off guard, because I dove deep last night, and I was like, you know what, if he's a man of God and he was speaking against African Americans like this, then I understand people's conscience. I understand why people wouldn't like him and would be upset with him. But and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, what stemmed to the African American policy when he started debating these colleges on, oh, you shouldn't basically have reparations and we shouldn't feel bad for you because of slavery. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, was when they started to ask him about gun violence in America, and he protected the Second Amendment with the statistic that there was more gun violence between African Americans. And again, I grew up in a demographic where I'm not by any means racist, and neither is my family. But even my son's godmother she's like as black as it gets, bro. And she will tell you that is a fact, just based off the demographics of Chicago.
Well, let's not weaponize your alleged goddaughter, okay? Or tokenize, because that's the thing. A lot of white callers call in to do. They'll say they got a black best friend. Their cousin is half black or something like that, and they'll tokenize them to say, well, because I can tolerate being in the same room as a black person means I'm not racist. And that's what you're doing.
No,
you're tokenizing your black.
No. I think you got the misconception there, Afro. It is my son's godmother, which is my best friend's mother, of who passed away.
Okay. You're tokenizing.
I'm not trying to. So then let me ask you this. If you believe in God, then do you think it is right to use such an amazing platform that God has given you to sit on here on this live and not boast, but make the remarks that you are, that this man deserves to be dead and that karma caught up to him? Do you really? Because in the Bible, correct me if I'm wrong, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. And this platform, as I scroll through the chat, is nothing but stone casting, bro. It's nothing. It's the white man at the top. And I'll say it as a white man. Here's the real deal of it. And everybody's like, what's 9/11? We're not talking about 9/11, bro. They tried to kill Trump, whether it was the left, the right, the black, the white, whatever they want to call it. The government is getting what they want by us creating podcasts like this, separating the blacks from the whites, the left from the right.
Okay, well,
Would
you
you
talk
not
about
agree?
separating the black from the white. They got a White Lives Matter parade where they're talking about white men fight back. I haven't seen you make a comment on that. You got a whole bunch of white men
I
around the
completely
nation
disagree with that.
trying to galvanize around being a white male, and you're talking about me separating people. They're the ones saying that white men need to fight against everybody else. They're the ones saying, I'm not saying that. I'm saying we need to be safe, because they're the ones saying that white men need to arm themselves and fight back. And I noticed that you, Mr. Christian, has not commented on that.
Yeah. Okay.
What's
So
your opinion about that?
I haven't seen that on the news. I don't watch a whole lot of news.
I
To be
just
honest
showed it
with
on
you,
his live. I showed it on his live.
Oh, about all the guys gathering in the street. Where was that at, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm not exactly sure where that was at. I know the dude who called for a White Lives Matter protest was in Florida, and there's been White Lives Matter protests in Florida. I know that for a fact.
Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, that's idiocracy at every level. I mean, just
But isn't that division?
Go ahead.
All I'm saying is that, hey, you know what? We got to protect ourselves. Did I say that Charlie Kirk deserved it? No, but if you're going to talk about the Bible and you say, let those who don't have the first sin cast, or those who are without sin cast the first stone, I will also talk about the Bible talks about consequence often, you know, and what
absolutely, but we are not the one to judge the consequence or dish out the consequence or decide.
The thing is that, to be honest, the Bible does talk about consequence. Okay, and we're speaking on the consequence of certain things. The Bible talks about
we are taking our interpretation of what we think is a consequence. Do you not think that the devil could have been the one that took Charlie's life instead of God as a consequence? Do you think that our finite minds can comprehend the plan of God?
When you go around, Charlie himself said that there would need to be some people who are sacrificed for gun rights, for us to keep the Second Amendment. Charlie said that. Charlie also said that he wants to bring public executions back and have children watch them, and that he wants those to be televised. That's what Charlie said. Charlie damn near prophesied.
Do you played that clip on your show before?
Matt, come on now. Charlie has said that.
No, I'm asking you. Like, I've never seen that clip on him. I've never, ever, 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 ever. So if you're telling me there's a clip out there that Charlie said that, I'm going to find it.
Okay.
No, I'm asking you.
Yes, you are going to find it. I saw it earlier. I just don't have the time to play all the clips because I want to get to the phones. But yes, Charlie.
No, I feel you. I feel you. Well, yeah, I mean, then if he goes about that, I mean, but again, and I think really what hurts me the most, man, is that people are like, I don't care if it was my worst enemy. Like even when they hung Saddam, I'll give you the perfect example. When they hung Saddam, I couldn't watch the video that was released. And I feel like we are, and you were right on about the purge. The thing, I told my wife that today. I think we're on a fast streak to that, because they are desensitizing us as human beings that this is okay. Never in the history of any type of assassination attempt or killing has a publicly viewed video been able to be kept up on the internet permanently. And you can still find that video of Charlie getting shot in the neck.
You can still find the video of George Floyd being killed. You can still find that one on the internet too.
I'll agree with you there. And again, I'm not saying this I just feel like, when is the last video that you can see where a gunshot was fired and somebody bled out and died? You never really could see the point of when Floyd. I can tell because I was a professional athlete younger. I understood when he passed out and when he was incoherent. But there's like, kids can't watch that and be like, oh, that guy's dead. You can, if my 10-year-old son pulled up that video of Charlie Kirk, he probably wouldn't be able to go to sleep for 2 or 3 weeks.
So you think,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Kirk, you think the video of George Floyd was about 10 minutes long? Let me ask you a question.
Correct.
What do you think? How do you think George Floyd died?
By the suffocation from Chauvin.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Without a doubt.
10-minute long video of George Floyd begging for his life. Okay.
I agree. Yeah.
So, and that video is still up.
Yeah, that's Man,
the same people who
all I'm saying is you're a very talented man.
Who laugh about that and make jokes and memes about that are the people who are saying that we need to have empathy for Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk, a man who said that he didn't believe in empathy. He didn't like empathy.
Yeah, I saw that video as well. And here's all I would ask of you, Afro, because you're a very talented man. God's giving you a great platform. I would use it not just to unite the Black community. I would use it to educate and truly unite Americans and unite the world. It's not just about race and color. It's not even about ethnicity. It's about that we're all children of God. And the truth is, whether you're Black or white shouldn't make a difference. And whether I have one belief and you have another belief shouldn't make a difference. At the end of the day, if someone took your life and I didn't agree with anything that you said, if I can sit here and boast about it, I am not a true human being or a son of God. And that's all I'm saying, bro. I think what you're doing is great. I think what you're doing, trying to keep the people together, telling them to arm themselves, I think that's a phenomenal thing. I think there's just a few things though you might need to tailor up, man. And that's just me. And you don't have to take my opinion. And I appreciate you taking my call. I just feel like if we continue down this path, which we are headed, and as I go from live to live, which I normally don't watch these lives, but since this happened, I was like, man, I'm really curious to see how America's reacting and to see that just the comments that are going on. These people respect you and they're looking up to you and they're looking to you for advice. And my question is the words that you're speaking on your live, would God want you to speak that way? That's the only thing I'm basically asking you to look at. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand that. And I think that advice would be better for you to tell the people who are saying white lives matter, because they're not saying all lives matter. They're saying that white men need to galvanize around there. It's a lot of platforms
who are
bullshit.
Saying that.
So
they don't need
that you're coming to
I'll call into all those platforms.
Okay.
All right. I'll call into all the ones that I can. But I appreciate you taking my call. I'm praying for you. I just want you to know not all white conservative guys are basically out here rallying. If anything, when it was George Floyd that died, I knew it was on the cop. The guys that have any type of common sense, they know really what really happened with George Floyd. Now, was Kirk, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave you with this, okay? The Trump assassination, I was an advocate of Trump because I thought he was going to expose the criminal activity. But now it happened the day before September 11th, and we're not even talking about September 11th. And we all know George Bush was in on 9/11, so we could go create war and go get the oil. And don't think for one second whether it be the left or right, because when you're really up top, there is no left and right. They're all making the money, bro. And that shooter was white, but he was a trained shooter. He was a trained shooter, 1,000%. I've got friends and I've got family in the military and one in the Navy SEALs, and they'll tell you without a doubt that was a trained shooter. It was a military hit. That's why he's going to get the presidential medal, and that's why Trump's going to honor him, whether Trump was in on it or not. And I'm not saying that he is, but it wouldn't surprise me if he was.
All right. Well, we don't know.
God bless you, man.
Thanks for your call.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now that was interesting. That was interesting. You see the way, listen, don't sit up there and allow people to make us seem like the bad guy. Don't you think, as a person of God, don't you think you should be doing this? And don't you think you should be having more empathy and all of that stuff? You talk about me being a person of God. Charlie Kirk said he wanted public executions that children get to watch and be televised. He said it would make him happy to see that. Charlie Kirk said that he didn't believe in empathy. Okay, I'm not mocking his death, but let's be honest. Did not God talk about if you do bad, bad will come to you? Is that not in the Bible? Is that not what Christians teach? No, notice how he tried to flip it and make it seem like I'm doing something or teaching something divisive and immoral. Oh, you're going to call the White Lives Matter crew after you call me. Okay, I got you. Okay, I'm the first on the list who's causing this division. All right, of course. Caller from area code 720.
Hey, B1 salute. Peace to the chat. Peace to you, Afro Elite. This is Jesse Paris, a.k.a. Chan Krumah, out of Denver, Colorado.
What's on your mind, bro?
Oh, my God. I'm trying to gather my thoughts after all that Mayo babble prior to me. I wanted to give y'all an update on what was happening in Evergreen. So Evergreen is a suburb of Denver. It's lily white out there. They said that the shooter was radicalized more than likely by Charlie Kirk, Myron Tether Gaines, and a slew of other conservative pundits that got platforms. So it doesn't surprise me. We lived through Columbine, same kind of shit. These people, the trench coat mafia at that time, it was the trench coat mafia folks. I had just been at Columbine like a week or two prior, so I already knew something was going to crack off over there. And then it's just been spiraling down ever since. Colorado, as you didn't know, was a Ku Klux Klan state. There's nothing but Ku Klux Klan out here, and they go out their way to try to kill us and harm us, the few blacks that's out here. That school is located where there's an elementary school and a middle school. I've been out to Evergreen. Like I said, there's none but the crackerdom out there, and none but match type of people out there. A lot of religious folks, a lot of all that madness. And then where Charlie Kirk was killed, that's Mormon country. Utah, Mormon country. That's Mormon Central. And none but Mormons out there. So it's not a coincidence this cracker get up here talking about what would Jesus do and what the Bible say. First of all, Matt, your daddy is Satan. And you speak nothing but lies just like him. And that's all you know. So that's your daddy. So when he's talking about, do you believe in God? We don't serve the same God. We don't believe in the same God. Y'all worship Satan. So I want to get that out there. And then also, I feel nothing, like Torian said, I feel nothing about Charlie Kirk. You play stupid games. You win stupid prizes. You ran around the country talking about how violent black people are, and how criminal we are, and then you end up getting off by your own people. So if that ain't ABK, I don't know what is. So you fucked around and found out Charlie Kirk, and I feel nothing for you. And you crackers that's emboldened by this shit. Let FBA, let these crackers fight amongst themselves. This ain't got nothing to do with us. Stay out of this. Mind your own FBA business, and continue to fight for the reparations and the tangibles and the anti-black hate crime bill. This is just another distraction to try to get us off our square, and we're not going to fall for it. But I appreciate you having me on Afro Elite. Make sure y'all check out the Frontline Black News.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate you. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Thank you, brother. All right. When we know she calling back, we already know. Ms. Nisi, talk to us, Ms. Nisi. How you doing?
Back up from your microphone, because I'm fixing to holler.
Go ahead.
That Miss Sanctimonious white collar, how fucking dare you? You don't come into our space and you don't lecture our warrior, Afro Elite, and I hope your white monkey ass is listening. Fuck you!
All right. That's real quick and to the point. I love it. All right, let's get to caller from that's our beloved mom, Ms. Nisi. Caller from area code 949.
Brother Afro Elite, how you doing, brother?
I'm good.
Brother Herc Owens out of Orange County, man. Okay. I'm gonna try to be as brief as possible. Mr. Kirk was an advocate of violence. Mr. Kirk advocated violence against Black Americans. Mr. Kirk weaponized his voice, formed his voice as a weapon against Black Americans. Just before his untimely death, he was about to go in on that Zarutskin lady that was killed on the bus. He was going to basically demonize Black Americans because of that. And he wasn't going to come in any way to try to mitigate that situation by basically talking or speaking to the mental illness of Americans. So the thing is that Mr. Kirk had no basis and had no empathy or sympathy for Black Americans, and particularly Jordan Neely, the young man who lost his life on the subway train in New York. You know, Kirk spoke to or said something to the effect that Daniel Penny was a hero for killing a young man who was only trying to feed himself through his street performance. You know, there's just so many things, you know, that we can say about Mr. Kirk, but unfortunately, the world is a better place in his absence, because that type of violence is not needed. And it also brought about his undoing. And that's just the ugly reality of that, you know. Now, when we talk about the Bible, since Mr. Matt wants to talk about the Bible says that those who live by the sword and advocate for violence against one's brethren, one's so-called Christian brethren, tends to basically receive and will say receive violence. And there's the adage that escapes me right now. But one tends to sow what one reaps.
Mm-hmm. You reap what
and
you
that
sow.
Speaks to, exactly. You reap what you sow. Exactly. And I'm, you know, as a human being, we all, Black Americans, all mourn the loss of life. The problem is that white people have not implemented their humanity. They have not spoke to their humanity when there's the issue of the loss of life, of Black life. And that's the difference. And if white people want a better world, then they need to be better people. And if Mr. Matt believes in this goddamn Bible, if he's really a fucking Christian, okay, then he will speak to his people and tell them to behave better, to be a better people. If you know better, then you do better, Mr. Matt. You know, and don't come in here lecturing my brother about what's right about the Bible and everything. Teach your people what's right, because we have right in us. You fucking people are inheriting evil by nature. You're the one that abused us. You abused my people. We didn't abuse you. You people started this shit. Mm-hmm. Life is miserable, or was miserable, and was a test and a trial for us as a people being liberated from slavery because of your people.
Yeah.
And it's just typical of white people causing problems instead of being problem solvers, and then blaming it on the people that they victimize. That's evil, Mr. Matt. Now, use your Bible to redeem yourself and your fucking people, man. And fuck you, dude. Peace out, brother.
Peace, brother. Thank you. That's that.
Yeah.
That's that LA energy. Appreciate that. That's that California energy. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. He said Orange County, I think he said. Caller, hey, come on now. Love it. I appreciate the word from the family. Appreciate the calls from the family. The caller from area code 314. You're on live.
Hi, I just wanted to kind of come up, and that brother that just was up here. Oh, I'm Black, indigenous to this land. And anywho, when the white man came up, I was going to basically say what the brother was saying and what the sister before him said. Don't come into our spaces and trying to tell us what to do. See, these people, they fail to realize, even though our ancestors lived through us, we are not still a little bit different from them, to the fact of that Bible, that Bible, you reading back Bible verses and using Jesus and the word to try to, you know, have us
Pacify
subdued,
us. They're trying
bend
to
our
pacify
head.
us. Yep.
Yeah. And that's what they're used to. So I've been noticing like all day today and yesterday, they've been coming in and out of our spaces trying to see like our temperament or like where we're at. And I think with them is they so used of us being dogged out and done wrong and mistreated and all this stuff done to us as a community that they feel like, okay, we'll just throw the word at them. No. Because see, the difference between us and our ancestors is our generation, we didn't actually read the Bible, and we don't just go to the 30 or 40 verses that they point us to. Because at the end of the day, God is about judgment from the beginning to the end. So what these people are receiving is their just due.
Mm-hmm.
And now the people that normally saved them, fed them, clothed them, on the booby and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Now they want us to subdue and succumb to a WS who blatantly said out his mouth that he as he was being unalived, already having rhetoric negative against us.
Mm-hmm.
Like in that moment, that was judgment in that moment. You need to keep your mouth off of God's chosen children. Now y'all can read, they can read that Bible left and right, inside out. But we all know it's 3 or 4 different descriptions of God, Jesus, the disciples, Barnabas. Solomon said he was black and comely, so that means he was black and fine. Okay? Yeah, I'm black and I'm fine. So at the end of the day, y'all can't use that on us no more. I'm not my great grandma. She'll go clean up their house, wipe their ass, and be like, I'm just trying to get a little $20 this week or whatever they made. But at the end of the day, I just wish that they would stop coming to our spaces trying to infiltrate them. And what they do is, like they've always done in history, is if they can't get us, they try to find someone that look like us to infiltrate us or to try to change our mind. But see, the temperature is changing because those tactics aren't working. Just like the tethers and the white men, they have the same hairline. They act the same.
That's
okay,
true. I'm gonna let you.
So
I'm gonna let you land.
Day,
I'm gonna let you land so I can get to some of these other callers. But I'm gonna let you close out. I'm gonna let you land your.
Okay. All I was saying was that we should just, keep doing what you're doing. Educating us, spreading the word, keeping us united. Like the white man said, he claims, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it that you're telling them to get, to arm themselves. Of course you are, or not. See, that's why they coming over here creeping. They begging for something to pop off. But we not giving you the energy because, to be real, without us, don't nothing shake. That's the gag. But they know this. We the only ones collectively, well, we know in here, but outside of us, a lot of people, they still on there, oh, this is so sad. It's just crazy how some of us are just so, sympathetic and empathetic to these people that did some atrocious things to our community. And that's where I land. Thank you, Afro.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you, sis. Appreciate that. He asked, how do I know it wasn't the devil who killed him? How do I know it was God? I never claimed God shot him. I never claimed that. I never claimed he was killed because God sent the man to kill him. I never made that claim. But he was speaking evil when he got shot. I just don't think that's, let's be honest. He wasn't speaking godly words when he got shot, was he? Or was he trying to speak evil on the community? Was he lying on the community? Was he trying to deflect and put out harmful, anti-black, evil, venomous rhetoric towards our community when he got shot. What is that true or not true? Is that true or not true? All right. This I'm gonna say this one time because I forgot to say this earlier. Caller, you're calling in anonymously. From now on, I'm not gonna be taking up any more anonymous calls.
Oh, okay.
Let
No
you
problem.
go ahead, but from now on, no anonymous calls after this. But caller, what's your name and
No.
where are you calling from?
Yes, my name is Natalie. I'm actually from Los Angeles. I'm paralegal here, and I am calling because I know that someone said something about slavery. I know that Mr. Kirk stated that he felt that the way he viewed slavery was he felt that it was better off for blacks to be in slavery because he felt like it would be no more crime or there was no crime at that time or whatever. I really disagree with that. I did not agree with any of the stereotypes that he spoke of. But when we talk about foundational Black Americans, which I am a foundational Black American, we also have to understand that there are different components in that. Yes, there are gang members. There are people who are lawyers. There are people who are doctors. There are people who are paralegals. There are people who work and have regular jobs. You know what I mean? There's different components of Black people, and you just can't group us all together. Just because someone speaks a certain way or acts a certain way doesn't mean that they are the same. No, we're not African. I know that for a fact that we're definitely not African. We're definitely not that. And I do believe that the Bible it does not speak about Neanderthals at all. The Bible is about Black people. When you read that Bible, I don't know if anyone actually takes the time to read it so that you can see. And it's not just in Deuteronomy, it's from the beginning of Genesis all the way through Revelation. It does not describe anything from the Caucasus Mountains, nothing from Europe, nothing from that. Those people were even nowhere near the earth at that time. You know, like I said, I can go all the way back to the 1700s, and my people were here in America, New Orleans, Louisiana. This is our DNA on this land. I won't hold you too long, but I want to say, thank you for the opportunity to come up here. Yes, I did block my number because I just didn't want to, but I am a foundational Black American. I do agree with a lot of what you are saying. I do not agree with killing people, any of that. I don't have no fight in that. No, I'm just not into any of that negativity, and I don't want to come on your show or on your thing and be negative like that and speak like that. I just think it's very disrespectful. I don't like the fact that he said what he said about all of the women in power, about them not being, in regards to the affirmative action. What he said was, he said something to the effect that, let me see what he said. Let me
I'm gonna let you get
notes.
this last point in, and then I'm gonna because I got like a dozen, at least actually I got like more than a dozen other callers. So I'm gonna let you get your last point. I'm gonna let you land. Get your last point out.
All right. He
And then
also
I'm gonna
claimed
have to
that
put,
the
like, a
prominent
time
Black
limit on the
Americans
callers, but you
in
got it.
leadership, such as Michelle Obama,
Uh-huh.
he stated that they were seriously without affirmative action. Thank you so much, and take care.
Yeah. Yeah, and all of the talk about affirmative action and stuff like that, I want y'all to understand, they all know the real data and the real statistics about affirmative action. They know that their community, the white community, benefits from affirmative action the most, but yet they've used affirmative action, they've used DEI because they benefit from DEI more than we do. They use that government assistance, all of these things, and they weaponize this to say, look how Black people really don't deserve, look how nice and gracious we are, and we're doing too much for them. Okay, we're doing too much for them. So yeah, they do that. All right. Let's get to the next caller from area code 314.
Yo, what's going on, Afro, man? Yo, Pariah from St. Louis, man. I want to say, thank you for, the work that you do in the community. But, man, I want to say this right off the bat. Charlie Kirk, 31 years old. That man speaks like he lived 131 years old. You know what I'm saying? He ain't nothing. He's no different from a modern day William Buckley when he was debating James Baldwin when he was going around to these college campuses trying to debunk, you know what I'm saying, the FBA lineage and what we dealt with, you know what I'm saying, from our perspective. You know what I'm saying? Most of us come from a lineage of, you know what I'm saying, a lineage of, you know what I'm saying, slavery here in America, but people fail to realize that most of them come from a lineage of, you know what I'm saying, slave masters and anti-black racists in their lineage here. And that doesn't get pointed out. And, you know what I'm saying, that's passed down, you know what I'm saying, in this whole quote-unquote post-racial society that we live in, that we all know is a farce. Integration, we all know, was a farce. All of these things that we are constantly subjected to, we see it time and time again, and I'm just tired of hearing it. The white boy that called in, I was just like, yo, when they always want to bring this Christian talk, hey, yeah, tell that to the KKK members that, you know what I'm saying, claim to be Christians and doing all the stuff that they be doing. I don't want to hear nothing from anybody that's a people of color, minorities, XYZ. I don't want to hear nothing from them talking about, hey, we need to be all in this together when you're not willing to address the same people in your community that's perpetrating all of the negative things that's going on.
Yes.
That's what you need to be telling them. That's the thing that you need to be telling them right off the bat. Don't come in here in our spaces talking about anything, you know what I'm saying, related to what we need to be doing. If you're not doing that in the spaces that you hear going on in your community, because they all want to sit at the table and be comfortable, you know what I'm saying, getting the benefits from, you know what I'm saying, whatever they deal with, but at the same time, like, well, black people need to do X, Y, Z. I'm tired of hearing that BS, man. I'm from St. Louis, man. We already know how it is. St. Louis, you know, Chicago is pretty much the same, segregated, black and white. We don't fuck with them like that, and they already know what it is. We know what it is. So, you know, that was my main point that I would just wanted to, you know what I'm saying, like bring across, you know what I'm saying, to the table. I've been listening to this for a long time. I've been a listener of yours. I like the perspective that you give. And they want to be like, oh, you know, Charlie Kirk, XYZ. You know, if you are, and the whole freedom of speech thing, we already know. If you saying something that's negative, like, you can do a lot more harm just bringing things about into existence just by speaking. You ain't necessarily got to do the action. So Charlie Kirk's hands ain't dirty just because, clean just because he actually didn't, you know what I'm saying, like, physically do anything to anybody. But, you know what I'm saying, you saying all these negative anti-black things about black people, you know what I'm saying, like that part right there. He's like, if somebody was going around saying like all N-words need to die, like, clearly, you know what I'm saying, like, yo, that's a freedom of speech. But hey, this person is clearly a threat. Like, we can't be like, I don't understand the common sense aspect of this when people are talking about, oh, he was just talking. Like, get out of here with that. I'm trying to be respectful. Respectful on your platform.
I'm gonna let you land, brother.
Yeah, man, that was all I wanted to say about that, man. That's all.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
thank you, brother. And that's very true. Thank you for your call. That's very true. The whole, well, Charlie didn't do anything directly. No, Charlie did a lot of damage, and we're not going to sit up there and act like he didn't do this damage. He did a lot of damage. All right. Let's be honest. Did Osama bin Laden fly? It's 9/11 today, right? At least it is in Chicago. Did Osama bin Laden fly the damn planes into the World Trade Center? No. But they're saying, well, you enabled and you endorsed, you supported and you organized. That's what they were saying. All of this stuff. They don't get the big terrorists because the terrorists did the stuff. They did it because you're at the top of the spear. You're the puppet master, pulling the strings of everybody. Okay, so that's what you get. Okay, Charlie Kirk is the puppet master. He enabled, he endorsed, he put batteries in people's back who went out to harm other black people. Okay, the person who shot up the grocery store in Buffalo, who do you think he was listening to? The one who shot up the grocery store or the dollar store in Florida, who do you think they were listening to? Who do you think they were endorsed by, not endorsed by, enabled by, okay, motivated by, encouraged by? All right. Charlie Kirk never condemned any of them. Okay. So yeah, you can do a lot of damage, even if you don't actually do it yourself. Charles Manson is a perfect example of that. He's known as a serial killer, and he actually didn't kill nobody. He just encouraged and enabled and kind of manipulated people into doing that. All right, let's not do that. Let's not do, well, he didn't do. No, yes, he did. He has a lot of blood on his hands. Now, from going forward, because we still got a lot of calls, I have a timer on my phone for 2 minutes. So when I give, after you say your name and your state, I'll start the timer. When 1 minute is up, I'll say 1 minute, continue. After 30 seconds, when 30 seconds is left, I'll say 30 seconds, and then that's when you need to be landing. All right. So let's continue. Caller. Oh, no. Okay. Let me set my timer up. Hold on. Caller from area. Oh, damn. You hung up? You ain't got to do all that now. Okay. Call from area code 323. You're on live. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, Afro. It's Lipton Fro.
Lipton Fro, how you doing?
Calling from California. Hey, Afro. I was waiting patiently. Let me make this quick because I know you got me on the timer. So what I wanted to say, let me turn this down because I want no feedback on my phone on your live. What I wanted to talk to you about is how they were talking about how devastating it was to constantly watch that situation take place over and over and over again, with neglecting the fact that we had to watch back in the day Rodney King videos of this man being assaulted by all those police officers over and over and over again. They forget also around Black History Month, we constantly have to see the attacking of our ancestors with water hoses and dogs attacking our people. Every year, it was like a constant thing, like never forget that we were assaulting you constantly. We always saw those postcards where our ancestors were swinging from trees and they were and their little children were standing by our passed on ancestors with big old giant smiles on their faces, holding a piece of our ancestors' body parts. You know what I'm saying? So like Mr. White Man, he needs to just, he needs to miss us all with that, with that conversation of, oh, we just need to, have more empathy, have more sympathy, use your platform for something good. You are using this platform for something good. That man that is no longer with us, that has passed on, has made a career of a character assassinations of Black people for roughly, I want to say maybe 5 to maybe 7, maybe even 10 years. This man was on that trajectory of attacking our character and placing
I'm gonna let you land.
a negative stigma. Okay, a negative stigma on Black people. And so no, don't let nobody tell us, don't let nobody tell you we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're going to continue to mind our business. We're going to continue to delineate. And I'm proud of what you're doing. And thank you for this platform. Have a good day.
Thank you. That's Lips and Froze from Twitter, from TikTok, y'all. She be in our TikTok live spitting game. Thank you very much for your call. Thank you. That's very true too. Let's be honest. That's real talk. Very true. You calling me talking about what would Jesus do? I'm not the one calling HBCUs threatening to blow them up. They sitting up there making threats to Black colleges, and Black people had nothing to do with the situation with Charlie Kirk. Black people weren't even there. Black people weren't even there, and they threatening to attack HBCUs. HBCUs got us closed down, and we weren't even present. And you calling me talking about how I need to be speaking about empathy and speaking about unity, and we ain't have nothing to do with the situation, and we being attacked. Man, no, man, you can miss me with that. Caller from area code 832. You're on live.
That's me. Hello?
Yeah, you're on live.
Yes, I was calling in. I'm Lisa from Texas. I've talked to you once before. And I was calling to comment on the call of the white guy that just called. And first thing he's started talking about is casting the first stone. Well, see, he's talking to the wrong people. Then he needs to find out who the shooter is and give that and then talk to him about that, because we didn't shoot him. Like they just said, if you live by the sword, okay, the Bible tells you that. I believe we all have angels. This man always talked about what the black person is and black person that. And he said about that he feel like that somebody should get shot every year to protect the Second Amendment. Well, when you said that, you just put the stamp on your demise, because your angels don't understand any mistakes. So the way he died, that was the way he lived. You see what I'm saying? And when he called, then he was trying to question you about what did he do. Well, how you gonna call? I can't call you and try to question you about something and challenge you on something, and I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? I became aware of him when him and Candace Owens would be on panels together, and she's spewing out the same craziness that he is, just like that. So, I mean, like they say, we ain't celebrating, but okay, he died. You can't make him an angel now that he dead. I've always said that. If they hell, then they hell when they will. After you die, I can't make you an angel. Because God sees all and knows all anyway. So people need to stop that. And then one more thing I need to say, I heard you talking about the other day about the reparation task force, and I wanted to know how to get that information for it.
What state are you what state are you in?
I'm in Texas.
You're in Texas.
Houston.
You're in Houston, Texas. Is there a reparation? Is there a reparations? Let me ask you, what are you asking exactly?
No, I'm just here telling this lady, I think she was in Britain or somewhere, and you had just telling her about the reparation task force, and you was asking her where she lived at and everything. So I was just trying to find out, was it a task force here in Houston that I could get with them and start, seeing what's going on?
From what I know, no, there's no task force yet in Houston. There's not no major one.
Okay.
They might talk about it during their city council meeting. What you can do is you can go to your local politicians. I don't know who like the representatives are of Houston off the top of my head. I can't do that, but you can write them. You can go to their offices and stress the importance of
like Al Green.
There.
Like Al Green, well, you said she was definitely, but she passed. I know Al Green, would he be one of the people maybe I could go to?
If that's his district, then yeah. You would.
Okay,
you would write different representatives. You would also write your mayor and other city councils about that. You can actually go to. They have different town halls and city halls, and you can go there with some like-minded brothers and sisters and advocate. Say, hey, California got a task force. New York has a task force. We need a task force in Houston as well too. So that's a way to get that started.
Okay. Well, thank you, and you be blessed, dear.
Missouri City. Okay, I'm not sure where Al Green is, but okay.
He's in Texas. I know that.
Okay, but
yeah,
I see.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
been in
know
Texas the whole time.
Whose district it is, so that's why I'm saying that.
Okay, all right. Thank you, dear. You be blessed.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye. All right, yeah. Maybe I'm not sure exactly whose district that is, but that's how, if I was in Texas, I would start that. Okay. Caller from area code 845. You're on live.
Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings, Brother Afro. I know time is short. So I just want to be real blunt and mention two key points that touched me in a way that it made me alert. First of all, when the man came on your platform and he started speaking about the Bible and God and all of that, first of all, your platform is about FBA. You stand on FBA business. And yes, you are notifying your people about issues that we should be concerned and aware of. Okay, this Charlie Kirk was a person that was spewing hate towards us, and all you basically were doing was making us aware of where this person was coming from and the rhetoric that he bestowed upon Black people using his white constituents. Okay, just like I know, one point you said that really, really touched me, that he wanted the children to watch executions being done. Well, just like I know, back in the day when the lynching took place, they allowed their children to watch black men be hung from trees and burned and tarred and feathered and murdered.
Yep.
So
you got 30 seconds.
Okay, the issues that he stood on, hey, know your enemy. In their Bible, it said the enemy came with a kiss and a hug. He came with a kiss and a hug. And before he gave Jesus up, he came with a kiss and a hug. Brother Afro, keep doing what you do. I watch you. I'm from the Big Apple. My name Mitch. I'm out. One love, brother.
One love, brother. Thank you. Appreciate that. Hey, that's very true. I'm informing people. Okay, I'm letting people know this isn't spreading hate. Torian called in earlier, talked about how Steven Crowder and Megyn Kelly are damn near calling for blood in the street. They're damn near calling for violence right now. I'm not calling for violence, and you guys don't on this channel. I don't call for violence. I don't do that at all. Y'all know how this channel get down. So I'm not sitting up there calling for violence or anybody to go out there and attack anybody. But our community is being attacked over something that our community had nothing to do with. So don't preach hypocrisy. All right. Caller from area code 562. You're on live.
Oh, hello, Afro.
How you doing?
My name is Sybil. I live in New Mexico, and my comment was about that butthead Matt that called talking about Christianity. Where in the hell was God when those freaking preachers were letting out church so they can sit there and watch a black man get lynched on Sunday? Where was he? Oops. And where was Matt? And did Matt sit there and talk to those people on those other chats? You talk about those. Talk about those crazy white men talking about burning us out and killing us. Did you talk to them about Christ? About being a good Christian? Did you talk to them about not bombing or burning down universities, starting civil wars? I missed that. Did he mention that? Oh, I don't think he did. So for me, it's like you can fuck all the way off. I don't want to hear none of this. It's bad enough that you had to figure out some way to drag us in here. You have to figure out some way that you can try to destroy us with this, come with some excuse. We're not even near you people. And like the other caller was saying, okay, Charlie was talking about having kids witness that. I said, okay, how about that postcard of a black man being burnt and there was some white kid grinning over it?
Mm-hmm.
But
you
that's
get
all I've got to say.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, you appreciate
Okay, I'm done.
Appreciate that. That's true.
Bye-bye.
We the last people that you can come in here and call and try to preach the word of God to us as if we're doing something immoral. Thank you very much. Yeah, talking to me like, hey, what would God approve of what you're saying? Am I telling anybody to do anything wrong? Before you say that to me, am I telling anybody to do anything wrong? Am I justifying anybody doing anything wrong? Okay. Am I dismissing anybody doing anything wrong? The way Charlie Kirk dismissed slavery, the way Charlie Kirk dismissed murders, the way Charlie Kirk did. Okay. But y'all act like Charlie Kirk was a man of God. All right. Caller from area code 910.
Yes, sir. Afro, how you doing, bro? This is SLE SLLE 44, bro. North Carolina. Yeah. So obviously, you proved again, and we proved again who the only black people is. Obviously, they're going after our schools right now, right? They're going after our schools, so that right there should just kill the notion in a time like this right here, who black. Mm-hmm. So we got that because we always been that number one target of America and her immigrants' hate. And her tethers, all right? So tethers, you just killed yourself. It's nothing else left. And I mean that in a figurative manner, not nothing really happening to you. But you're not going to run around now trying to be first. You don't want to be first now. You're not going to jump up and be first. You're not going to do no march. You're not going to do anything because now that these people are talking about this stuff, all you brown people right now, you want to be brown now. I bet you want to be anything but black right now. But see, it's a time now, right? This is the time. There was a time after you remember that thing. It was a march that said Jews will not replace us. You remember that march that back then, right? Okay, so when that march was going on, okay, this dude named Charlie Kirk. Now, Charlie Kirk and this other guy just came on here talking about that stuff. Now, Charlie Kirk is a Jew. Now, just imagine that. He's a Jew. The way he talks about things, he tried to put a target on FBA back just before he got hit. Now, when he did that right there, you don't see Jews running out here right now trying to denounce that. Charlie Kirk have been spewing this stuff forever. When Whoopi Goldberg got in trouble about saying that she thought Jews were white, they tried to cancel Whoopi Goldberg. It was a whole thing about Whoopi Goldberg because she thought that Jews were white. They said they was not white. So if Jews are not white, then why do they have a whole bill for them? And if Charlie Kirk keep on arguing for white people, but y'all said that y'all not white. So where are we going with this? Obviously, where we're going with this right now is that Jews will not replace us stuff is all up in Charlie Kirk and the Jews and everybody else DNA. They got a big problem right now with each other. Because right now they're dealing with color. Right? Yeah, did you say something, bro?
No, I say yes.
Yeah, but yes, sir. They're dealing with that color thing right now.
Yeah,
it's coming back to haunt them. Yes, sir. Okay, bro. I'm going to land right now. But just remember that part right there about when Whoopi Goldberg got in big trouble when she said that about Jews. She thought that they was white. She lumped them all in. The Jews came in. They almost got a fire. They said we're not white.
Yeah, made her.
So if you're not white, what are you?
Made her
right.
apologize.
And if you're not right, bro, and if you're not white, then why did Charlie Kirk kept saying he was white? Because y'all are rolling with Nazis. That's who Charlie Kirk is rolling with. I'll be glad when they go and straighten this out, Jews. We'd like to y'all go straighten that out. Go apologize to Whoopi Goldberg about saying that y'all wasn't white. And Charlie Kirk right now is saying that, I guess, is he white? Because he's gone now with saying he was not white. But he is white because he argues like he's white.
That's
yes,
true.
Sir, bro. Appreciate it.
Appreciate that, brother. He defends it. That's very true. Y'all go look up Charlie Kirk wearing the yarmulke. I remember that. I remember seeing Charlie Kirk the first time. He has pictures all over the internet in a yarmulke and at Jewish holidays and celebrations and stuff like that. And I'm all like, okay, so you a Jew when you want to be a Jew, but you a Catholic when you want to be a Catholic. Yeah, because you know the alt-right, they feel some type of way about Jews. That's why Ben Shapiro, he stayed in his lane. Okay, and sometimes when he step out of lane, they be checking Ben Shapiro. Charlie Kirk know, like, if you want to really advance, you got to hide your Jewish heritage, which a lot of them do. All right. So yeah, tell that to Myron who says Jews aren't white. I just want him to know that. Okay, caller from area code 808. You're on live.
Yeah, what's up, brother? This is Ben from the mighty west side of Chicago.
What's going on, brother Ben?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up now? I just wanted to say this. I'm gonna make it quick, man. That nigga Stephen A, man, he needs to really get his wake up call. He just crashed out just too much for this white boy, you know what I'm saying? And especially what he stands for. He wasn't even a sports player or nothing that I know of, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And my last point is this: how we live in their minds rent free. They said that he was killed in front of his daughters, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the last thought that was going through that white boy's mind with his high-pitched, whiny-ass voice was us. Not telling his daughters that he loved them, hugging his wife, or nothing like that. It was us he was thinking about. That was the last thought that went through his mind was us. So that's how these people are possessed with us. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I got to say.
That's true. Thank you. That we live rent free, and that's why when he called him, like, yeah, I know Charlie Kirk for speaking about the Bible and speaking about religion. I'm like, no, Charlie Kirk started off with anti-black racism. That was his biggest claim to fame. We're not gonna dismiss that. We're not gonna make it seem like he said some racist things here or there. He was well known for that. That's the biggest thing he's known for. His most viral clips are of that. Okay, talking about some black on black crime. He's not talked about anything more than he talked about black people. All right. So yeah, we're not gonna let him slide. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Yeah, my Chicago brother over there. Yeah, we not know. Well, I didn't hear about that. Of course, y'all didn't hear about that. Caller from area code. Caller from area code 385. You're on live. Caller from area code 385. Ooh, we gotta be quick. Caller from area code 385 is not with us. Oh no. Okay. Well, it's late. I understand it. Caller from area code 971.
Hey, Afro, this is Jacoby. Good evening. From
Jacoby,
Portland,
what's
Oregon.
going on, bro?
No, I mean, I had no plans of calling in, but that Matt guy really took me to a festivity level. RIP to Robin Harris. Listen, man, don't handle us. Don't try to handle us. Leave us alone. Just leave us alone. You know, I didn't know how deep that rabbit hole went with Charlie Kirk like that because I don't follow him. But when Dewan B broke it down, how deep Turning Point USA really was influential in trying to erase Black history because it made white people feel bad, Matt, fuck you. Okay? And I mean that in the most sincere way. Don't get on these platforms trying to, what would Jesus do? Okay. What would Jesus do? Well, the so-called Jesus folks would not make black codes against black folks. They wouldn't do Jim Crow. They wouldn't do lynchings and put them on postcards while these motherfuckers get to sit in residential homes and live their best life knowing they committed murder, wiping out black people. Fuck you, man. We didn't do anything. It had nothing to do with Charlie Kirk, okay? I didn't see
You got
anybody
40
else
seconds,
mourning
brother.
for all the mourning for all of our suffering that we go to. And when it's something you can't justify, you guys go deep in the child's past to find any little fucking thing. So leave us the fuck alone, man. Shit.
Appreciate that,
I'm
bro.
outta here.
Yeah. Don't come preaching to us. Thank you, Jacoby. Don't come preaching to us. Preaching to the choir, and they're the ones sitting up there got a rally talking about white men fight back, and you're talking about I need to stop being so divisive. You gonna call them after you call me? Yeah, I don't think so. Caller from area code 424.
What's up, Afro? What's up,
going on,
chat?
bro?
This is Dominique. I'm calling from Los Angeles, and just got a couple of little things to say. I think it's really, really rich the way that white guy tried to call up in here and lecture you and the people in the chat over us not rejoicing over the guy's death, but feeling relieved that we won't have to deal with him no more. You know, and the thing is, I was raised in the church like most of us, 3 times a week, going to church, know the Bible back and forth. And the Bible is about justice. I'm not a Christian at this point, but I do know that the Bible, the universe, your spirituality, it's all about justice, making things right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And when you go around and you spread hate and you do all the things that this man was doing,
50
this
seconds.
is the kind of fate that awaits you. Okay. So, and I want my people to know one thing too. Just remember this. This is the same religion that they used to keep us locked in slavery for so long. So their interpretation of Christianity and ours is completely different. And I'm going to land right there.
Thank you, brother. Yeah. What they mean is white supremacy for real.
All right.
Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate
Exactly.
it. You have a good one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. You preaching that, but you're not preaching justice. They don't preach they speak against reparations, but you want to talk about some justice. Caller from area code 267.
So can you hear me?
I hear you. I hear you, brother.
It's Curtis in Philadelphia.
Curtis, talk to me, brother. Talk to me.
Yeah. I just want to say real quick. You know what the most wicked thing on your body is?
What's that?
The most wicked thing on the body. You know what that is?
No, I'm not sure what that is. What's that?
On your body is your. Charlie Kirk was talking about. He was talking death.
Mm.
And what he was doing, he was spewing out hate. And when you spew out hate, and when you spew out injustice, you make yourself a mark. And that's what he was doing, because he was speaking unjust. Like I said before, yesterday, that he was going through these colleges, talking to these young kids, and what he was doing, he was spewing out lies. And when you spew out lies to the young kids, you produce hate. And that's what he was doing. He was spewing out hate. And so what he did, he brought, because the Bible says, the Holy Bible says, it's life and death in the tongue. The tongue is the most wicked thing on your body. There's two deaths. There's a physical death, and there's also a spiritual death. The second death has yet not come. But you also, a lot of what he did, he murdered a lot of kids with his tongue, because what he was speaking hate, he was speaking wickedness, he was deceiving people. So that's why he brought death on himself, because he spoke death. That's why you have to watch out what you say out of your mouth, because you either can speak life, like that brother before me, you can speak life or you can speak death. When you are a true child of God, you speak life, because death is in the hands of the beholder. Death in the hands of our Heavenly Father and our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And what
sir, I'm gonna let you land.
We're talking about. Yeah, okay. Like I said, God bless you, brother, and you keep up the good work, okay?
Thank you, brother. Bless you.
Okay, Afro.
Appreciate that. Stay blessed, brother. Thank you. That's true. I mean, he was literally speaking evil. His last words. Okay. Caller from area code 651. You're on live.
Yo, my name's Nick. I'm from Minnesota. And I'll start off by saying I'm a 23-year-old white man. And I recently watched your Karma Just Came for Charlie Kirk stream. And although I don't agree with 100% of the things you're saying, I do not celebrate Charlie's death. I do believe he was a racist and spread harmful misinformation to the American youth. And I also understand why you and the Black community would borderline celebrate his death. My question to you is, what can I do as a young white man in 2025 to support the Black community and express my progressive beliefs? Because at this point, it feels like anything I say will be looked at as fake or questionable by your community. And I just want to end this division kind of between white and Black people. I hate this shit, to be honest.
Okay. Well, the thing is that actions always will speak louder than words, right? So your actions are going to speak for themselves. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you this, as far as reparations, what is your stance on slavery reparations?
I totally believe they're justified, and I think systemic racism is a real thing. And I feel like we agree on that issue.
Okay. Well, the thing is that most of the white community does not agree on that. I'm going to take you for your word that you agree on that. There are certain politicians who play games as far as reparations. All right. So, and there are certain people who endorse that. So one of the things that you can do that will be taken seriously, that you will have people saying that, is if you call out the anti-Black racism that is disguised in the community. All right. That's one of the things that you can do. All right. Like, for instance, the way you're calling in and asking what you can do, you can go to your city council and you can say, hey, I believe that the Black community are owed foundational Black Americans. Be specific. Foundational Black Americans are owed reparations. All right. There's a lot of things that white supremacists, I'm not saying you're one, but there are white supremacists who will be more comfortable and open and candid around you, whether that's a police officer, whether that's a sheriff, whether that's your principal at school, whether that's your boss at work, all of these things. You can expose these things. These are actions. You have to show with actions, okay? Because there's a lot of white people who say they love black people and want to help, but their actions and their words don't occupy the same space. So with your actions and things like
Right. Yeah.
that's how you will show if you actually are sincere with what you're saying.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. And I mean, I just really respect your platform, man. And I mean, I wish you all the best. And I feel like some of the times, like when you guys speak on, you know, people on my color, it just feels like you have no hope and no I don't know. Forgiveness isn't the right word, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm off this, so appreciate you.
All right. All righty then. I said what I needed to say. Say what I need to say. He can have look. Actions will speak louder than words. There's a whole bunch of people who come up like, "Hey, I love you guys. How can I help?" Okay, and then when I say, "Okay, this is what you do. This is what you do. This is what you do," all of a sudden they can't do that. All right. So we hear that often. Caller from area code 313. We'll see though. 313. You're on live.
Yo, this FBA Tez calling from Detroit. Man, hope was the wrong word too, because black people, FBA has never lost hope. We've always been fighting. We have been the only class of folk fighting. And I also want to say, yeah, man, when you go around speaking rhetoric and hateful rhetoric like this guy, Tucker Carlson, oh, excuse me, I meant Charlie. You know what I'm saying? You have to expect someone to retaliate, and it don't even have to be anybody from the FBA community, because you speak on so many different hateful terms and topics. Like, dude, you know what I'm saying? I don't wish death on nobody. You know what I'm saying? I am a peaceful person, but at the same time, you know, I mean, the world would be okay with you being gone. I can promise you that the fight for FBA will be a little easier. Yeah, man. And I also want to just add to it and say, you know what I'm saying? This fight is definitely ancestral. I feel my ancestors tugging, letting me know it's them, letting me know that they got our back. You know, that's why we are, I agree with Tariq when he said that's why we seeing these plantations burning down out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Our ancestors just shaking this MF up, man, and we got to let them step to the side and watch it all fall down so we can rebuild it in peace this time. And I'm going to tap out on that. You know, we love you over here in Detroit, Afro.
Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate that. Much love to Detroit. Thank you. Hey, that's real. That's real talk. You got plantations burning down. I'm telling y'all, it's a new time. It's a new time. The energy is very different now. I'm telling y'all, and everybody, you are literally seeing the fall of our enemies, and it's not even by our hands. We ain't even got nothing to do with it, and you seeing them fall one by one. Caller from area code 803.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on live.
Yeah. How you doing, Afro Lee?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. My name is Mr. G. You know, I listen to your calls, your panel all the time.
Thank you.
And there are a lot of interesting things that come up, but just not put together with our Black people. And I was just simply thinking, I'm trying to be quick with this. You know, many are the plans of the minds of man, but it is the purpose of the Lord to stand. Do not let these white people deceive you or get you in bad company. And that takes me to where this white guy came in and said, do you believe in Jesus? I thought then you should have asked him, which Jesus are you talking about? The black or the white? Confused him like he was trying to confuse you. And I also thought, don't trust so easily. Salt and sugar look the same, but they don't play the same game.
Oh, of course.
And my
Yes.
main thing I call for, my main thing is that as a black person myself, birds of a feather flock together. Every race flock together except for blacks. We will not work together. We will not play together, but we'll play with everybody else.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. That's very true. That's very true. I want y'all to understand. I have callers who call in like that all the time. Hey, I'm a help. I'm an ally. What can I do to help you guys? And what they're expecting one of two things. They're expecting me to either say there's absolutely nothing you can do, you cracker. There's nothing you can do. Stay away from me. And then they'll take that and be all like, you see, the blacks don't want unity. They just want war. I tried to help. I tried to be a brother, but they don't want unity. So that's option A. Or option B, they expect me to open my heart up and be like, oh my God, I just love if you're an ally, just show your love, just pray with me, just hold my hand and just support. I said that there, no, I'm straight cold. Like, hey, well, no, there's things you can do as far as this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And you see how short the conversation was after that, right? You see how short the conversation was after that. Because they expect one of those two things. So you see how short. I'm not holding my breath for nothing, but I'll let you know. You see how short it is after you give them instructions on actions. Okay, caller from area code 214 214.
Afro, I did not mean to stir up your show, but I'm just curious how, if we're not trying to start a racist debate or a divide, why I get referred to as the white guy, and that Jesus' name could be mentioned in the same sentence as the F word. You know what I'm saying? And like, I know that Jesus wasn't white. I know for a fact that he wasn't. I wasn't trying to come in here and start a debate or try to tell you what to do. All I did was I saw your channel of one of the many channels that are out there. And out of all of them, I felt like you were one of the most talented that I could have connected with and tried to make a difference. And to go a little bit further, for the lady from Houston, Texas, I was a WWE Hall of Famer, Booker T, and I worked for WWE, and Booker T is an African American, and I broke bread with Booker. And I'm not trying to say that to try to entrap you or tokenize it or whatever word it is, but I'm appalled at the hate that I have gotten from the calls that came in for me just asking, do you think Jesus would approve of what's been being said? And then I'm in the chat, and people are like, go tell your people.
You shouldn't be
and
appalled,
I'm like,
Matt, you shouldn't be appalled. I'm surprised you called back. Okay, you shouldn't be appalled.
Yeah, like I
you are
didn't treat you in any way.
You were weaponizing
ahead,
the
I'm sorry.
Bible, and you were weaponizing Jesus so you could put us or put yourself on a pedestal and make it seem like we're doing something or talking about something that's immoral. You know what I'm saying? What would Jesus approve? Why would you ask that if there's something you heard that you think Jesus wouldn't approve of, Matt?
Yeah, the only thing that I felt like that was because we as a community, as people were, I mean, let's just call it what it is. You know, the stream yesterday was said karma caught up to Charlie Kirk. And I did see the video that you said about Charlie Kirk on the racism and talking about the kids and the lynching. And I saw that video since I last called, and I probably maybe misspoke on that. But the last thing I wanted to do was get on here.
Since now you've seen that video, what do you think of our response to Charlie Kirk now?
Again, and before I saw the video, I told you I understand it. I just don't think that it helps in any way for like in other words, like for the white collar that called in and said, hey, how can I help? And now I'm saying the white collar, I'm white. the guy that said, "How can I help?" You gave him a few things, and the call hung up. But it was
Mhm.
like, because we're white, we're dismissed immediately as if we're the same generation that enslaved
No,
the people back
Matt,
in the
this is
day.
your second time calling back. I'm still talking to you right now. The white caller, he asked, "What can I do to help?" I told him what he could do, and that was it. He didn't have anything left to say. I didn't have anything left to say. It seems as if you're trying to project some victimization on you and the other white caller. That's kind of what it seems like
No,
you're trying to do, Matt.
well, if you go scroll through the chat, dude, and you just see the comments, and then the people calling in saying "fuck you," like, dude, is that really how we're? I mean, like, is that? And again, I might not know it, and it might need to be something to where I do go back to the culture of where I grew up at to realize it. But is it really that bad to where, because I'm white and because you're African American, that I don't even belong here? I don't even belong in this group, or don't even belong to be in the same situation with
Well,
you guys to be able to talk
Matt,
to you about
well,
things?
I'm a foundational Black American, so let's clear that. But the thing is, Matt, you did come and try to kind of you had criticism of what I said
I had
today, and then what I
criticism
said yesterday,
over the,
and you were
yeah,
trying to
over the
preach,
boasting of Charlie being killed.
Matt. You were trying to preach as if I was using my platform for something ungodly. That is what you were saying. You were saying, like, this is not the way I should be using this platform where people are listening to me, as if I was preaching something or condoning something ungodly. That is what you were doing. All right. And the
So
audience
so
didn't appreciate that. And
is
they voiced
karma
their
catching up with Charlie
disapproval of what
Kirk?
you
Oh,
said.
well, I apologize about that. I apologize, but again, tell me where I missed the interpretation of karma catching up with Charlie Kirk as the title of your last show.
It,
You know what I'm
there is
saying?
no
Like,
there is no misinterpretation. There's no misinterpretation. If somebody, you reap what
so
you
then,
sow. If you speak on violence, you speak on guns being out there, and you speak on people being sacrificed and executed in front of children, and then that winds up happening to you. That's what a lot of people would call being prophetic and reaping what you sow. That's what that's what they
I
would call that.
I agree with that. I agree with that, and I'm not at ends with you
Now,
on that.
Matt, I
What
got to
I'm at
get to
ends
some
on
other
about it
callers,
is,
Matt, because
okay, well, I just wanted to apologize for the way that it portrayed her. That if you think that I came on here and tried to deceive you in any way, or tried to act like I'm better than you and tried to tell you how to do your job, I didn't. That's the last thing I wanted to do. That's the last thing I wanted to do. And I mean, I speak for a living, bro. And so this is kind of one of those things where it just bothered me, man. Once we hung up and I saw all the comments, and it shouldn't, because what other people think of me shouldn't bother me, but it did. And so I just wanted to apologize. And again, I think what you're doing is great, and I'm praying for nothing but blessings, and I hope that everything works out for you.
all right, thank you.
Thanks, man.
All right. Matt called twice. That's something. That is something else. All right. And that he has more black friends. What does he say? Not Pusher T. He said, who did he say? Booker T. He said Booker T from the WWE. Okay. All right. He's that's that black card. All right. Caller from area code 312. You're on live.
Yeah, Deco Chief in the place to be from
Oh,
Chicago,
Chief, talk to
Illinois,
me, brother.
deep
Talk to me.
southeast. What's happening, my brother, man? I heard the man succumbed to a bad, severe case of chlamydia claps, puffballs. I don't know, man. It's just what I heard. But I gotta say this though, dog. How dude was speaking about, yeah, they died. He died in front of his kids, and his kids don't you have any sympathy? You got to think about this, and I know because I always tell you I grew up in a very racist neighborhood. Hey, man, look, them kids start getting racist themselves, and there's no disrespect to the kids. They start getting racist themselves at around 7. It's like pretty much over if you've been preaching that to them all of their lives. See, kids have stages of development, like 3 and 7 and all that. You know how it go. By the time they done went through 2 stages, and all you've been doing, especially if Charlie Kirk is your father, all you've been doing is preaching anti-black behavior and race and speech. Them kids, they got some understanding. So what I'm saying is, it's unfortunate, but I'm not trying to say it to sound foul, but the man is gone now. And maybe the kids will stand a better chance, because they didn't stand a chance as long as they grew up inside that house with that man preaching
True.
the foul rhetoric that he was speaking. You know what I'm saying, brother?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? And if he didn't die, claps, man. The toxicology report will tell it.
Brother, thank you. You got small little 7 to 8 year olds calling people the N-word on Xbox and all of that. We know about these people barely old enough to not sit in a car seat. They not even big enough not to sit in a car seat. They still sitting in the car seat calling a black person the N-word online. So yeah, it starts from a very, very young age. You can imagine what type of monsters Charlie Kirk's children would have turned out to be.
Man. I'm gonna land my plane, brother, man. Love you. Keep doing what you do.
Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we not gonna do that. Hey, that's better for his kids. His kids now got a chance. If they not gone too bad, but they still got that mama, and the mama married Charlie. So who knows? Caller from area code 562. We're gonna wrap things up shortly.
Hey,
Caller from area code 562.
Yeah, what's up, Afro Elite, man? Hey, this FBA Dynasty, man, out of LA, man. Hey, look, man. The black community should show empathy or sympathy for racist ass Charlie Kirk. Why should we? You know what I'm saying? From what I know, I don't remember in history any black folks oppressing, subjugating, or deleting any white folks behind racism. Now, we're just talking about random crimes. That's something different, man. Random crimes is done by every other race in America. So, you know, we should have sympathy and empathy for Breonna Taylor. You know what I'm saying? For Jordan Neely. You know what I'm saying? For Trayvon Martin. And countless other black folks that got bledded out by these white supremacists. So, you know, I'm looking at it, man, you know, and, you know, the FBA family, we should not be pussyfooting or showing any empathy, man, when we've been getting attacked, man, and, you know, historically attacked, unalived, and done dirty in history by these race soldiers and white supremacists. And now we supposed to kumbaya. No, man. You know,
got 30 seconds, brother, but yeah,
we
you're
don't
right.
oppose to anybody. Hey, bro, real quick, we don't oppose to nobody getting unalive or nothing like that. But as feeling sorry for somebody, man, no, we don't have to feel sorry. You can't tell anybody how to feel about nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
After we've been oppressed and unalive by these folks, man. But shout out to the NBA family, B1.
B1, brother. Thank you very much for your call. That's true. Trying to police how we feel about the situation, and you ain't going to nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Nor are you even speaking on anybody else. Okay, we're the only people who get criticized. Caller from area code 309. You're on live.
Hey, hi, my name is Mary, and I'm from Peoria, Illinois, like 220 miles from Chicago.
Hey, how you doing, Mary?
And I'm fine. I just wanted to know, how do all these people come and listen to Charlie Kirk spitting out all that racism and say that he's a good man? And then you want to tell people that he's been knocking down how to feel about him. So all these people that's in the world that's following him, their mothers and fathers taught them to hate. So all these people in the world is hating. I think that's a problem to begin with right there within itself. There's so many people hate black people, white supremacists like Charlie got what he got coming. Whenever you got to talk about a man that pulled black people from out of racism being done wrong, and you gonna say that Martin Luther King wasn't supposed to be treated like a god? God sent him to us. And that's why I feel like he got what he got coming. His spirit, the way he moved. People don't realize God created us in his own image, and he gave us his spirit, is what he's talking about. His spirit was corrupt. So when you have that type of spirit, you draw them type of spirits to you. Mm-hmm. So he got what he had coming, and I don't feel sorry for him.
Can't either. You reap what you sow. Thank you very much, Mary. I appreciate it.
That's right. you reap what you sow. So thank you, and I'm just now getting to know you, and I subscribe to you. I'm glad to know that we got some FBA brothers that's standing up, telling the truth.
Thank you.
But
Thank you. And I appreciate your support.
thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one. All right. All right. Caller from area code 212. You're on live.
You're on live.
Good evening, family. This is Ruth calling from Harlem. Thank you, Afro Elite. I listen to you all the time. I love everything that you do, and the FCA family. Peace and blessings to you guys. My response is that we have nothing to do with this. This man went to a white town with a white crowd and got unalived by a white man. So why are they accusing us of celebrating? I think that's a deflection from the racism and white supremacy. By the way, I'm from Harlem, New York. I just think that, we have nothing to do with this. And I want to urge the family to just stay out of it and don't let these people bait us into getting involved in this, because this is white on white crime and we have nothing to do with it. And that's all I have to say. I land my plane. And thank you for everything you do, Afro. I listen to all of your stuff.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's you. And you're absolutely correct. This is not us. Not our responsibility. That's their business. They need to get their community together. That's what they need to do. Thank you. All right. You have a good one. Yeah. They need to be the ones calling into their community saying, hey, what do we need to be doing? We need to get our community together. That's them, not us. We didn't do nothing to them. Okay. Charlie Kirk, he attacked us, and it was his own people who attacked him. We didn't do it to Charlie. They need to get on him. Caller from area code 972. 972. You got it.
Hey, salute, Afro Elite.
Salute, brother.
Hey, man, I'm with the caller that just left. Salute to the sister. Actually, first thing first, Charlie Kirk, black people not celebrating that, man. We honestly just don't care. FBA, we just don't care, because white babblers get shot in the neck every day, B. They get shot in the neck every day. So that's the first thing. We really just don't care. Secondly, the guy who came up trying to criticize and critique you, I thought he was supposed to be spreading the good news and the gospel to the other white supremacists out there. But he still had time to actually come in and call back a second time. Go out and spread the good news, brother. Brother, spread the good news. Let all the white supremacy know that y'all got a problem at hand. All these young white racists that y'all brought up to be serial killers are out on the loose. Y'all need to deal with y'all issues and the problems that you have on hand. And leave us alone and stay out of our business. Salute. B1.
B1, brother. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Y'all need to get y'all community together. Come on. Come on. Calling me. I ain't got nothing to do with Charlie. Caller from area code 310. You're on live.
Blessings upon blessings. Blessings upon blessings, good brother. B1.
Brother. B1, brother.
Yes, sir. This is Marcus from D.C. again. We're witnessing a soft civil war. It was like the Cold War, back then when they had the Cold War, but now it's escalated with this thing that happened to Charlie Kirk. But I think we be careful that we don't allow them to wag the dog, aka change and manipulate the narrative. There's like a video of a guy on a scooter saying F Charlie Kirk, then getting jumped. And after watching the video in its entirety, it turns out that dude looks and sounds YT. Plus, it's tether media platforms and chorus paid liberals, influencers, drawing YT negative angst towards FBA. and using this. It just seems like it's like we just got to pay attention to everything that's going on, and don't forget to take our what direction we're going in, which is staying focused. Reparations, we already know we're at war, but that's the point I wanted to focus on. And I had one question. Didn't Trump recently expel trans from the military?
If I'm not mistaken, he did. Or he did not expel trans necessarily, but he said that the military won't be funding the transgender, I guess, like medication, because they need like hormones and stuff like that. That's what prevents them from a male from growing facial hair and all that. And the military used to fund those like hormones and stuff like that. And I think he cut that.
And I mentioned that because not to get into MK Ultra in mind type stuff, but it seems as if somebody was saying, like, I'm just watching different stuff, and they're saying how like they got this old dude, the old white dude, and they were saying he's not the active shooter. Then they're saying that the shooter somehow they're talking about it possibly could have been like a trans, and he has some inscription on the weapon they found and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, hold up. We had all these shooters and all these trans going around and all this stuff. All these disgruntled former military cats going back trying to get back.
Yeah.
I don't want to go off topic. Just saying.
That's their problem, bro. I don't know what's going on, but they need to address that. They need to get on that because right now they're getting the trans community is clapping back, and it's something they need to address. If it is.
FBA all day. FBA all day, brother. We stay on point and stay on target, which is reparations.
Yes, sir. FBA all day. Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they need to address them trans. They need to. I don't know. They trained the trans too well before they banned the thing. I don't know what's going on. The trans is clapping back at them. Okay. That's their problem. That's their community. Call from area code 520. You're online. We'll get a couple more calls, then that's it for tonight. Caller from area code 520.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on live.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
First of all, I want to thank you for being you and the show that you put on and your platform. I'm here in AZ. My handle is AZ70 Phoenix. And there's not many of us black people out here, and I've only met 2 people that even know what FBA is, so I take out the time and explain it to them if I feel that they're listening to me and that they're truly interested. So I add that to your platform so they get to know. I encourage them to listen to your show. I encourage them to go back in the past and listen to some previous shows so that they can come up to speed, so they just don't get thrown in and they don't really understand what the platform is. But I want to give you credit for everything that you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing. I've spoken to you more than one time, and I really appreciate what you're doing, because most of us older people, we already was basically FBA before the term got to be popular.
Yeah.
Okay. And I remember when we were marching for the Million Man March, because I'm one of the marchers that went there, and people were constantly asking me all the time, what's this about? What's the march about? And from my understanding, what we were talking about the march when we went, it was about reconciliation with our family members, being the best we could for people in our neighborhood, and reparations. Okay. That's what it was about. Okay. And when they realized that, well, they standing on this business right here, I noticed, like, after we did the march, the media came out, they vilified the march. The reason why I don't like Spike Lee today, because he made this whole movie on Get on the Bus or some stuff like that. And I was like, people weren't behaving like that. Where was he? I didn't see people behaving like that, and if you were gay, you really didn't let anybody see you behaving like that, because you would have got checked. It's as simple as that. I didn't see anybody behaving other than manly, and it was like the first and only time in my life.
15 seconds to land, brother.
Okay, I wanted to say it's like the only time in my life where I really saw black men come together. It's like a single thought, a single mind, and move it for a positive purpose in life. And once again, I'm going to thank you. Keep up the good work. And any people that don't really know that I feel that they're qualified, I'll turn them on to you, your show, Afro Elite, and God bless you. And I'm gonna land my plane and keep up the good work, brothers. That's all I can say. We're going. It's just a matter of time. It ain't when. It's just a matter of time when they're gonna give us the bag, and we're just waiting here patiently, and we're gonna move forward on it. And anybody wants to represent us to help us move forward or to get that bag is basically all I'm interested in. What these other people do, let them fight their battles. Okay, we fight our battles and stay focused. That's what I want us to do, and keep it going, Afro.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate your support, brother. Appreciate that. Thank
Okay,
you.
God bless you. I land my plane.
Thank you. All right. We get to a couple more callers. Caller from area code 304. How you doing?
You know who it is.
I know who it is. How
Matt.
you doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Matt, I know you're still listening. Listen up very clearly. You say you Christian? White Jesus is your Jesus. I'm foundational Black American. And the Most High is my God. Big difference. Black and white, baby. Deal with it. Love you, Afro.
Love you too. Thank you. Come on. Yeah, I was a little surprised he called back because I think it was he called once from private or on another number or something like that. I didn't even see that. But yeah. Oh, and his feelings was hurt too, and I think he wanted an apology. Caller from area code 414. We'll wrap things up right here because we've been on for a few hours now, so we'll wrap things up right here. So caller from area code 414.
Hello, Afro. This is Sony. Hi.
How you doing?
Good. Okay. I am 60 years old, and this is for Matt. We have been going through shit for decades, and this man wants us to accept an apology with one phone call that his forefathers then and now created this mess. They need to leave us alone. We are sick and tired of their racist rhetoric. They need to deal with the enemies and the devils within their community. Stop blaming us for everything. We are tired of it. We will no longer deal with this BS with them.
Yep, that's true. We are not the ones to be preached to. We're not the ones who need a lesson. We're not the ones who need to be monitored or given advice. We're not the one. There's 3 active shooters in a matter of a couple of days, and it ain't been none of us. Okay. So if you want to talk about some unity, some peace, religion, whatever the case is, we're not the ones you need to be addressing.
Right. He needs to go address his people. Go talk to his racist family members or his friends. I don't care. Some of them, all of them, whatever. And I know he is listening. We will not accept y'all apology. It has been too many years of us going through this. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sister. I appreciate that. They want apologies and they want grace. I appreciate that. We'll wrap things up there. Thank you to everybody on the line. I appreciate that. You'll be I guess first in line to call next time. Okay. I'll call you first in line. And I said don't call anonymously again. You might not have heard that, but don't do that. All right. Thank you for your call. Thank you, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Everybody on the line. All right, let me turn the number off. That's what I need to be doing. I'm going to turn the number off to that, and then I'll wrap the show up there. Appreciate that. All right. Cool. Listen, HBCUs are being threatened right now for Absolutely no reason. It's not like a HBCU, Howard, Stanford. It's not like any HBCU has went out and celebrated. It's not like any of that. No HBCU party has gone on over the death of Charlie Kirk. Nobody's done that at a HBCU. Why are HBCUs being threatened? Let me ask you that. Okay. Let me also say this. They quote unquote say that the person might have been trans. We don't know, whatever. Mind you, they're not threatening like a gay bar. Keep this in mind. They're not threatening a gay bar. They're not threatening like a LGBT club. They're not threatening that. Okay. The first people on their hit list are black folk. Even though they're alleging, because the shooter, as of right now, has not been caught yet, but they're alleging that the shooter maybe was a trans or a trans supporter or whatever the case is. But we're the target. It's us. It's us as black folk. We've become the target and we weren't around. That's what I'm saying. When you look at the crowd, you don't even see us around. So this is what I'm saying. Charlie Kirk's anti-black racism is so poisonous and venomous. Is spread to everybody. His last words speaking out against the black community is permeating and infecting their minds to where they see, well, you know what, to honor Charlie Kirk, I might as well go attack some black folk. And you want to talk about religion to us? You want to talk about religion to us? About how we the ones who, I guess, are going against the word of God, or we're the ones who are not doing something righteous. I'm not using my platform for justice, and I'm not using my platform for righteousness. I'm not using my platform for that. Okay. I'm not threatening nobody. Nobody who has called in has threatened anybody, has condoned any murders or deaths or threats to anybody. Okay. But yet notice how we become the focal point. We become the focus. We become what are the black people doing? Why do you care about what the black people are doing? We ain't got nothing to do with none of that. Why do you even care what we think? Because this isn't about because they keep saying it's political. They keep saying that. So this isn't about a white and black unity. Y'all should be talking about conservative and liberal unity. Y'all should be talking about unifying the left. Is left on y'all side, on y'all screen. The left and the right. Y'all should be talking about that. Why do you care what we think? What we do? Why? See, you see that? We are always in their minds rent free. Always in their minds rent free. Let me get to some of these super chats. Okay, hold on. Let me change my screen back to normal. Okay. Get to some of these super chats. We got a couple of them. Okay. This one from our sister Janita says, sending a little support. Much love and respect to my FBA family. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Much love and respect to you. Mother Tree Moon says, not the Mr. YT man of Latter-day Saints. Yeah. Mr. YT man of Latter-day Saints. Thank you very much. Ms. Nisi says, Afro, I'm calling again, and you know why? Yeah, I know why. Sadi, I think it's Sadi, right? I believe it's pronounced. I think I said Sade yesterday, but it's not Sade, it's 2 D's. So I think it's Sadi. Appreciate that. If I'm mispronouncing your name, you can correct me in the chat room. I don't want to do that. But I appreciate your support. Peria sends a couple of super chats, a couple of that, and it says, Afro, let me cook. White supremacist caller pissed me off. Hey, I hope you called in. I hope I let you cook. I hope I let you get it off your chest. MLD sends a super sticker. Thank you very much. And then I think it's Sal sends a super chat. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate y'all. It's Side-D. It's okay. It's Side-D. Thank you. All right. I think I got it right this time. Side-D. Okay. Not City. Side-D. My fault. Well, I appreciate your support, beloved. Thank you very much. Look, as black people, we are the focal point of everything. We live rent-free on their minds. They're having damn near a whole civil war right now. And they all like, but what do the blacks think? What are the blacks doing? Let's get the blacks. That's what they think about this. they'll unify and be all like, see, the blacks are fighting us. And we all like, the blacks? I'm here. What are you talking about? I wasn't even there. They're like, yeah, but we got to get you. Okay. Just notice that. Just notice that. So that way we know what we need to do to prepare ourselves. I'm not advocating any violence. I'm not advocating anybody go out there and do anything illegal or instigate anything. But I'm saying that let's keep some self-awareness going on, like a spider sense. Just make sure you're aware of your surroundings. Make sure you're safe. Make sure your people are safe. And that way we can defeat this phase where they're trying to get their lick back, because that's what they're going to be trying to do, get their lick back. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to let anybody lull us or pacify us and make it seem like we're doing something immoral, because they'll come in and be all like, but brother, don't you think Jesus was Jesus would kind of be cringing at what you just said, my brother? Okay. All right. Don't you think that Jesus would have been cringing at what Charlie Kirk said right before he, got shot? Don't you think that? Well, I don't want to talk about Charlie. I just want to talk about you, my African-American brother. Okay. Sure. Family, I appreciate y'all. It's 12 o'clock where I am, so it's 1 o'clock where you guys are. A few of you guys, it's late. It's late, and we started late, but we still was in here. We still were live. We had a legendary record-breaking live stream yesterday, and then we followed it up today. I appreciate every single last one of you all. Y'all be safe. Look, Charlie is gone. A lot of people are saying, well, now it's the time for empathy, but Charlie said that he didn't believe in empathy. Remember, Charlie said he didn't believe in empathy. You know what? For select people, I say I don't either. I don't either, Charlie. Family, I appreciate y'all for listening. I appreciate y'all for subscribing. Y'all make sure, if you guys have not subscribed, to hit that subscribe button. Make sure before you guys leave to hit that like button and hit that notification bell, so that way you do not miss out on anything, okay? Because I also dropped an episode on my podcast earlier on this channel today. So we've been just cooking. We've been cooking and eating good. So thank you, family. I appreciate every single last one of you all. Black first as always. And of course, you all stay blessed.